Hi, I'm the creator of Seymour, and I'm happy to be here, but I had to, disguise my voice out of fear for the well-being of my family and myself and everyone that I care about and love.
So if you could just, respect that would be great. Oh shit.
If you could just keep me anonymous, that would be great.
Okay. Well, we will respect your wishes, Seymour the Almighty.
Well, before we agree to respect anyone's wishes, like, what's the asset situation that Seymour is rocking with? Like, I feel like this is an opportunity for financial blackmail.
We're about to open up a whole can of primatology discussion. So sit your candy ass down, because it's monkey time, bitch. Gorilla Radio. Turn that shit to a reasonable volume so as to be considerate of others.
Monkeys go directly to hell.
While we wait, I have an icebreaker question for all of my gorilla boys who I haven't seen in so long.
Yeah.
As some of you may know, I recently became employed after God knows how many months of never find a roommate through a queer housing a network of any kind, even if it's an in-person one, and you think I'm gonna be skipping all the weird stuff. Don't do it. You're gonna be plunged into a financial vortex of having to pay for someone's groceries because they have too much anxiety to get a job. But in approximately 3 days, I will be re-entering the ranks of the upper middle class. And I was wondering if you guys had any suggestions in preparation for me doing so. What sort of upper middle class type purchases do you think I should be getting in on? Any meal kit delivery plans? Any sort of smart household roving objects?
I'm thinking
infinity
I have
pools?
discovered a little man. He goes by the name Dustin, and he's a mop Roomba.
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
I'm excited to put Dustin to work.
Is that spelled like DST?
No, literally he takes dust in to his body.
Okay.
His name is Dustin. It's a fucking pretty good name in my personal opinion.
Okay. That's good. They didn't do the right tech bro thing though, put a Y in there.
Well, maybe that's over, because I feel like that's been the thing since 2010. So maybe the new tech thing is embracing vowels.
I have unfortunate news for why it's like that. What I've decided it's like that.
Why?
It's because more than they are in California, most tech startups are in Utah now. And that's the Utahification of all the names of your favorite products.
Okay.
Braylon.
Hold on. Ooh, are we frozen? What's going on?
All right. Does this sound fine now?
Okay. Yeah, it does sound much
perfect.
better.
Okay.
But let's do an actual proper intro. I'm not sure how you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah.
What fucking episode is this? Austin?
What episode number
61.
are we on?
Yeah. Oh, this is episode 61 of Gorilla Radio Show. I'm Austin. This is Chandran sitting in the chair next to me.
We're in the same room.
We are in the same room.
I'm Greg, I guess.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Virgil. I'm the co-host of the podcast Big Soy Naturals. You may also know me as the first ever CEO to be politically correct. May also know me from my invention of moral relativism and from my past work as a freelance iconoclast and the diversity and equity consultant to Elon Musk.
Yeah.
I was
always
fired,
enlightening to have
unfortunately. He's no longer interested in spearheading any diversity or equity measures, but that is not a reflection of my ability to get to advance those measures in the workplace. Please consider hiring me.
And one final guest, a very special guest.
Yeah, hi, I'm Nicole. I sort of created Seymour. sandsvendor100 is my biggest claim to fame and really any sort of relevance in the great chain of being. Which I don't think is worth anything now. Maybe 5 years ago, but I think this is not the peak anymore.
This was a really big deal. I wrote like a little blurb about this really late into this little sketch.
Yeah, before you do
document
your
that I
little
put
blurb,
together.
I need to make fun of you, okay?
Okay, you're
Is
gonna
that
make fun of me.
Yeah, I just expanded you guys' video for the first time so I can see both you and Chandran. But why the fuck are you dressed like that?
Me or
Not
Chandran?
you, Chandran.
Okay,
You.
yeah.
Why are you
I don't know. I
dressed
thought
like
it
you're
was
gonna
a
chill like
cute
something-
little
like a golf instructor?
little golf outfit.
Cute.
I don't know.
I said right before we got on, like, we can't go on looking like this. I just came back from like a walk around the block, and you look like Tiger Woods.
You look like a chemistry teacher who's gonna hit on all the children.
Oh, that's not.
Dear
That's
God.
not good.
You look a lot like the
Yeah.
chemistry teacher at my high school who went to jail for hitting on the children.
That sounds like
You know
something
the-
specific that you're pulling that I'm not ready to deal
Austin
with.
wore
Are
some
you wearing
real
a
big
belt
khaki
right
pants
now?
yesterday with his golf.
I do have a
polo
belt
at
on. I
whatever-
lost a lot of weight in Thailand, which will also.
Oh, he
talk-
has a
Oh
belt
my
on.
god, I
Maybe
lost
again.
a lot of weight in Belize as well.
Yeah, this is like a convergence. We actually like left the country at the same time when we were coordinating this little follow-up episode. So I guess we'll start at the beginning. We'll just jump straight into it. This is one of the creators of Seymour Sandsvendor of the Sandsverse Tumblr fame, and Nicole here recently reached out to me on Tumblr saying that our episode on Sandsverse that we did probably 2.
I think it was 2 years ago. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
was at 2 a.m. was like, what if I just Googled on YouTube Sans Vendor and saw what came up, and then I saw that I'm like, wait, there's a podcast episode, and I listened to it and I was like, wait, I'm pretty sure I know this person on Tumblr a little bit, so it's like might as well reach out, see what happens.
And
Yeah.
what was your opinion on this person on Tumblr that you knew? Positive, negative?
Really negative actually.
Well.
Do you
whatever.
think that maybe he could have used some consulting in the diversity, equity, and
Yeah,
inclusion
I think
arena?
actually everyone needs to incorporate that a little bit into their life, which is something I've been struggling with personally. It's getting bad out there.
Well, my rates start at 69 an hour.
Okay, I can afford that.
we-
It's a good number
For sure.
Yeah.
I definitely can
I
afford
think I
that.
could. I think
We do sliding scale based on how privileged you are. So
Yeah.
4 minutes
You
in,
don't even
already
wanna
I'm
know
having
what
to,
my rates
count
are.
all of my oppression points.
it is a
unfortunately-
points based system. That's correct.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's like the progressive stack in DSA meetings. So we do it exactly
He's
like that.
he's having
I was thinking more like Chuck E. Cheese and how you go up
Yeah.
you go up
I was
different
thinking,
tiers
like,
at
car
Chuck E.
insurance.
Cheese for what prizes you get.
does having a somewhat niche internet micro celebrity Tumblr blog give me points or take away points? Does that make it cheaper or more expensive for me?
Oh,
If you're
obviously,
Austin, I think so.
anyone that has Tumblr fame operates from an immense place of societal power.
This makes a lot of sense. This tracks with all of my experiences in life.
So
And-
far, it's really worked out well for me.
Yeah, and you should be trying to make reparations to lesser followed individuals at really any time. People whose jokes don't land. People who post a selfie and their friends don't even like it because their friends weren't up when they posted it, and the algorithm doesn't show stuff chronologically anymore, so they just missed it.
Yeah, many
Those
such
people
cases.
are suffering.
I did recently discover
And it's your fault.
that I have the ability, which this was not always the case. I don't know when this started happening, but you can now reply to posts from side blogs. So occasionally I will just, if I see something on my dash, I'll just reply as Seymour, and it usually has no effect on people. They don't care whatsoever.
Actually,
No,
they care
This
a
is a
lot, but they're
wildly
too
different
afraid
world
to
that
say
we live in.
anything
that's true. They're afraid.
because
They're
you
afraid.
have so much power.
They're so afraid of my
Austin, I
power.
feel like you've maybe even had influence on actual elections with the Joe Biden buries dogs.
Oh
funny,
wait, that was you,
that wasn't
wasn't
even
it?
my
I love that post
You
so
are the
much.
shadowy
So
cabal.
that wasn't my bit necessarily. It was a Wayne Radio TV joke, and I wanted to join in on the fun, so I photoshopped it into a Snopes article.
Oh,
and
that's
for
so
some
great.
reason, Snopes picked up on it and thought this was a real attack on our democracy, and just started blasting the purveyor of misinformation quote, Wayne Radio TV, and quote, Piss Space Vortex. So I've been sort of immortalized in this sense.
You
I
have a
mean,
Snopes
like-
article written about you? That's incredible.
Yeah.
I'm just on like Know Your Meme and shit, which is not quite as impressive, I don't think.
I was browsing
You know
your...
who else is on Know Your Meme is Pepe the Frog.
Please
God.
don't.
He single-handedly lost the election for Artillery Clinton.
Is this who I'm in the league with?
I mean, among others.
We've actually led you into our trap. This is a struggle session to atone for your crime.
Sit down, pull out
That's
your little
fine.
red book,
I have
we're
many
talking.
friends. I will atone for them all. Gladly.
But yeah. So I
Can
guess
we explain what Sandsverse is for perhaps the listeners that don't know what it is?
Yeah,
This
I'll-
was exactly
I'll
my
let
question
you
because I
explain
am the
how you-
listener who doesn't know.
Yeah,
very
I want
much.
you to
You
explain
forget.
like your perception of it because like even the TV tropes page doesn't do a good job of conveying what exactly it is. You really had to be there.
Yeah, you kind of did. I don't know. Me and some friends started role playing as baby animals, and it got out of control.
Why?
Why would that happen?
Well, we remember why it got out of control.
So,
or
I
are
don't.
you saying
so
why?
through like a strange series of events, a lot of people on Tumblr ended up liking that, and then like a lot of people started
Well-
doing it themselves, and then it became a whole thing. And I still maintain that Tumblr like fully jacked my swag and did an April Fool's thing, stealing it. I might be wrong, but I think it's funnier to believe that's true.
Maybe so.
Why were you role playing as baby animals? Like,
I
what
was
inspired
13.
that? Yeah,
I don't have a
this
good
was-
answer
I'm
for
not-
that.
I'm not asking
being
from a place
13
of
does not
judgment.
absolve you.
I'm not asking from a place of judgment. I'm asking from a place of trying to reach common ground.
I think it was. I think they were really good posts. Is the thing.
I think
Yeah.
right now is a good time to ask a very important question, which is like, how much do you want to know what actually happened, and how much do you want me to just make shit up?
I think we'd like to know all of what happened,
Okay, the
and
truth.
then you
I'd
can
like
also
I'd
like
you
a
can
little.
also
I'd like
make
a little
stuff
mix.
up
Yeah.
if you want.
Can I also just ask a framing question here?
Yeah,
What's
go
the
ahead.
I'll allow it.
timeline? Like, what year is this? Like, when this starts?
So
Because
Seymour
the only
started.
reason I ever used.
Seymour started actually in I think like 2 months. I forget the exact day, but like almost in just a couple months, it will have been like 10 years old. So it started in 2014, probably peaked around 2016, calmed down by 18, 19-ish, and then
You were 13 in
yeah, I am 23
2014?
currently.
unacceptable.
What?
Yeah, that's unacceptable.
Not
Yeah,
the
that
good age to
doesn't
be.
really work for me.
Were you
What does that
for
mean?
9/11?
What are you trying to do to me? To where we being
present
13
for
is a
9/11 or
problem?
no?
Ageism, I think, is what I'm trying to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're doing an ageism right now.
And you're responding exactly the way that I would hope that someone that I'm doing ageism to would, you know.
I don't know what that means, but I'll allow it.
So, yeah, I would have been 14 in 2014. It's very easy
What?
for me because I do.
What?
Yeah, 2014. I was 14 years
2000,
old.
Why?
2000
Oh,
baby?
right, because you're born the perfect year.
I was born in 2000, the perfect year. They
Ah.
can't
So
take it away
fucked up.
from
Wait,
me.
I'm 2 years older than you.
I'm fully gonna get a dragon
I
tattooed on my
feel
arm
like we have
tomorrow
this
because I
conversation
was born
every
in
time.
2000.
So wait,
It's
how
happening.
old is everyone here? I'm 23.
Okay.
How old do you think I am?
Well, you're 2 years older than Austin, so that's 26?
how old do you think I am?
I don't know
though?
math.
It's like intel on us.
I'm
Would you like
26.
to guess my age based on my appearance and the lighting that I'm in? You already have some
29.
context clues. Ooh, you're 1 year off, but you're close. I'm 28.
Okay.
Okay.
I see. So me being 13 does
It's
pose
close
problems.
enough.
Well,
Yeah,
it
like-
just
Well,
is
it
hard to
doesn't-
imagine someone being not an adult when Anaconda by Nicki Minaj.
Oh, I know. I was very much a child when that happened.
I
like,
was
you
adult
were-
enough.
You were a child when Hotline Bling dropped, so you were not at the club. I mean,
No,
if you were,
I was not at
don't
the
talk
club.
about it because it's,
Yeah.
it's illegal.
Oh, so we need to
Lemonade?
not confess to
What
crimes
Hotline
on this
Bling drop?
podcast.
Well,
So actually,
it
crimes that you
depends.
committed as a minor, you can confess to those because you're probably past the statute. But I think they're children that listen to this. We don't want to encourage them to do crimes.
statute.
How many
There's
children
no
are there that listen to this? Like, what's the age
actually
demographic
charged criminal
graphics of y'all's
activity every
audience?
It's
episode.
mostly like 23 to 27, I feel like. Maybe 21 to 24.
Okay,
We're in
so
the
this is
peak-
not good mythical.
Our peak viewership is like people who also don't make any money.
Yeah, no, that I feel that. Yeah.
We love our broke viewers very dearly.
It's just crazy you're dressed like that, man.
That's
You're
Hold on, I'm
not
gonna give me a moment. I have like a match.
23 to 26 is
Okay.
the
See, I thought we
demographic
should've
of
gotten
ages
paid.
that I'm dating now. Or at least for the
What?
rest of the summer.
Wait, what?
I've been doing a
What?
summer of 23 to 26-year-old men to see what it's like.
What?
Okay,
How many
interesting.
23-year-old men?
I have like a solid team.
You're putting
Are
together a team.
23-year-old men just like dumbasses?
Well, 23 to 26. And from what
It's a
I've been able to
generous
figure
range.
out, they generally don't know how to spell, that's fine. No one
You
has.
have-
I'm also dressed like an unemployed elf now.
Hey, hold on.
Damn.
No one knows about
Yeah,
framing their posters.
I will
Every-
say,
you know,
Virgil, every
Yeah.
time we hear about a man, it's like you're picking some fucking guys. Like
Well,
who can't
I think
spell.
that there's like dating. Okay, I mean they can't spell words that have like homonyms. Like one of them can't spell of course. He spells it like of course with an A.
Okay, that's scary.
I remember saying, of course.
And a different one like refuses to learn the difference between the yours because he says it's just more efficient to spell them all one way.
Okay, but like, does he
That's
spell it
right.
you are? Because otherwise, that's
No,
losing
it's-
some efficiency.
It's
Yeah.
all your as in possessive. It belongs to you, but he just spells them all like that because it's more efficient than trying to think about which one to use and then typing out potentially extra letters. So
That's
This
what
guy-
you
this
are
guy's
as
a
for.
fucking
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
This guy,
That's
that guy's
good.
going
You are
places.
as
That
you
guy's
are,
fucking
you know.
going places for real.
He's like being
going
efficient, but not
He
maximizing
made it
stuff.
as
But
It's
if
a
you
bad
date
efficiency
if you date
plan.
a 24-year-old man, then they're like, hey, have you ever shotgun a beer before? Me and all of my friends are gonna go shotgun beers on the porch. Do you want
do have to
meet a
shotgun beers a lot when you're
19-year-old thing to
24.
do,
I have
though.
learned that.
How many?
Greg
how
just
many
made
beers
me
have
do
you-
that
until you're, like,
how many
24.
beers
Greg
have
just
you
forced
shotgunned
me to
this
shotgun a
summer?
beer 2 weeks ago.
Just be a real.
There are photos. There's photos of me. I mean, I've been unemployed, so I'm dating 23 to 26-year-olds. I'm shotgunning beers. I am. I'm
Okay,
inside
so
We're a
stop
rooms
it.
that have
23-year-old boy right now.
posters that are just taped to the walls.
Okay,
That's
I mean,
me!
that's.
The
That's
tape
me,
is
I have
kinda-
that.
Tape is
Are they
kind of falling
used to use,
off.
I
like,
mean, that's
painter's
kind of a
tape,
vibe
or
until
are they not
you
even at that
like
stage
get
yet?
your landlord to be like, yeah, it's gonna be $500 removed from your security deposit because the paint is peeling.
No,
God,
see, I
we use a
learned.
tip
I
for you. You
I
never
actually
get
started
those
using
back.
painter's tape. to
See,
hang on
we
my
didn't use
posters.
painter's tape. I did have that happen, but we used like it was still like paint that said it was safe for poster. It was not. It turned out.
not
Never is,
safe
never is.
at all.
Never is. Well,
So-
Jaden and I built. Hold on, this is a good one for this.
Okay, all right. Then we'll get back on
Is
track.
Jaden wanted to go buy a bunch of like cheap, shitty, like old like smut books like you'd get at CVS, and we ripped the pages out, and Jaden wanted to make it into a wallpaper. We rent this place, so we taped all these book pages to the wall, and it looks really good until last week when it was like, oh, we're gonna move. I gotta take all this off of the wall, and so now my wall is 3 colors and kind of permanently sticky because I had to soak the wall with water to get the book pages unstuck.
Wow.
Hey, that's
So
great,
don't-
man.
You should have
that
just
to your
left
wall.
And then the landlord can like just paint
I
over it.
considered it, but then I was like, I kind of want my $1,200 back. I'm definitely not.
They're
getting
not
it
going to
back
give it
because
back
I've
to you
made
either
them-
way. Is the thing.
I've made them come and replace these shit ass air conditioners that are on the wall.
Oh,
like
dear,
3
yeah.
times in the last 2 months.
Oh,
So I'm definitely not getting that shit back.
I know I said we'll get back to it after this, but the only place I've ever gotten a security deposit back from was the frat house, and that was because the landlords were too scared to go there.
That is
So they
hilarious.
just gave
I
it-
did not. I had like a bunch of the security deposit withheld one time, and they were like $500 because there was minor touch-up paint required, and you didn't replace the air filter. We did. We replaced it literally like 2 days before we left, and then they were like, and there was damage to the transitions between the kitchen and whatever. It's like, it was like that the whole time, and I was like, send them an angry worded lawyerly letter, and they were like, don't care.
It's why
My
I've just started
recommendation-
leaving messes for them.
I just need to
My
screw
recommendation is to just be a labor organizer, and don't tell them that until you get the apartment or get the house. So,
Okay.
and then display like mastery of like tenant laws, and then also if you have a professional email, send them a like a threatening email from your professional email, and then they think that you are like threatening some kind of like action that has to do with like
See,
your
I got my
workplace.
dad
You're not.
to send them a thing that was like, hey, we'll sue, and they were like, all right, bet, do it, and then we didn't, because fucking we have
Yeah,
like a life.
hate to have a bluff call.
Our bluff was called, and I was like, well, I guess you got me. I don't have the
Well,
time
hate
for
to
that
come
shit.
at the king and miss.
I think like pretending we're actually being involved with like a tenants union is
Now
more
my
scary
university
than
campus
that.
area has a tenants union. It did not
Yeah.
at the time,
That's
so
nice.
that is an
Because-
option now.
Individual lawyers, like, or individuals and their like legal whoever, like that's an expensive and probably like time consuming lawsuit for like what probably does not amount to that much money for someone that has to pay legal fees. So they know that they're probably not going to get someone who is like fighting to get like $600 back is actually going to go through with it. But like a tenants union, that's all they do, and it's fun for them. So
It's so fun is the thing. I can imagine it being so fun.
My like only real true success in organizing has been a tenants union, and
It's
boy, did
true,
They give
they
me all
hate
my
it.
shit back.
yeah, I love it.
Okay, so you said that like it basically started with you and a couple friends wanting to do like a funny baby animal blog.
Okay,
But like was there any like guiding principle
So,
that some divine
this
influence?
is something that might be knowledge and might be said somewhere, but this is a little bit connected to a question that's going to come up later. But actually, the way Seymour really started was I was fucking around on MS Park, which is was the Homestuck roleplay chat thing, and I was
Of course
on
it's
there. Of
Homestuck.
course it is.
It's always
so I was
Homestuck.
on there as Seymour, going like, "Hey, you want to buy my sand? You want to? No. Listen to me.
Why do
You
all
want
roads
to
lead
buy
back
my
to
sand?"
fucking
It was like really
It's
insistent,
Tumblr.
like in the voice, obviously, and like character and stuff. But it was just really, really insistent about that. And then a friend of mine saw that, thought it was really funny, and made the blog. So I made the character of Seymour, but I didn't actually create the blog. And then I had to be like, hey, can I be on the blog that is based on this character I made up for this stupid thing that I'm doing? They're like, oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
So I did not make like the
What
first
was-
2 or 3 posts on Seymour, I don't think. But I have been around since the beginning. I made up the
Yeah,
character.
so this is like
what was the other fandom?
what?
What do you mean?
Besides
There's another-
Oh, the
Homestuck?
other
Another
fandom
show.
besides Homestuck was like Super
Yeah, there's
Hulock,
another-
and it was like just those two.
Mm,
What? No, Supernatural. Supernatural? Is that the show?
Yeah.
Well, that's part of
Supernatural, I don't
That's
think
part of
was an
Super
inspiration for Seymour
I-
at all.
I found
No,
out.
not at
I
all.
just found out very recently that Jaden used to run a blog with like 65,000 followers. That was just
That's more than
Supernatural,
Seymour.
Like 2014.
Supernaturals is what the 23 to 26-year-olds say about me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like live, what's the live follower count of Seymour
Okay.
right now? He's at 50,829 followers. There's some
Really?
statistics for you.
In my adolescent brain, this was like an actual like deity to me. I think that like there.
I mean,
there-
yeah,
like,
that's true
you
also.
had maybe like, I mean, yes, but
Oh my
I
God, wait,
figured
Austin is
just
meeting one of
everyone
his
on the
heroes
website
right now.
was. What's up?
You're meeting one of your heroes right now.
I am so cool, I swear.
How did Seymour inspire you to start posting?
Well, I joined Tumblr I think around
were on something
2013 as it was as a Homestuck blog in
But-
2013.
Oh, naturally,
What?
naturally, as it
but
always is.
but
Whoa,
However-
don't stop! Stop! What?
I made a new blog and deleted that blog, so you'll never
What?
find it. I don't even know what it is.
What was that blog, Austin?
I don't know. I don't know what it
You
was.
were
How many
doing the
times did
Homestuck
you read
shit?
Homestuck?
I'm
I
not
was just
going into my
making, like,
history with Homestuck
edits.
shit. That is
You were
dying
making
with me.
Austin,
edits?
I swear to God, we're gonna get you that prescription.
Is the Homestuck guy still doing politics, or was that just a one-time thing for Bernie?
I don't know.
I forgot
don't know.
about that
I haven't kept up
completely.
with
Oh
it.
my god.
I
don't know if that was his career that he was like, or if he was just like a passionate, because he was a paid organizer. He wasn't a volunteer. I think he was a regional organizer. So Andrew Hussey.
Quite
For those
simply,
who don't
not like
know.
me. I did that shit for free.
yeah.
Well,
we're a
yeah,
bunch
'cause
of
if
I
you're-
was on the
suckers.
ground for free.
Yeah, because if you're a volunteer or entry level, then like the campaign has enough volunteers to sustain that. But he was paid, which means that he had worked his way up the ranks, or he had enough political experience to justify it. Which makes me wonder, what is his political career, and is he still on that?
I don't know. I think Andrew Hussey's a juggalo now. Maybe.
Has he ever not been?
Oh yeah.
I don't-
That
I
was
don't
a
know.
significant
I don't know
thing
for
that
sure.
happened
Okay.
in Homestuck. Yeah.
Do you think he was organizing the Juggalo community to vote for Bernie Sanders in the
It's
primary?
possible. It's a distinct
It's
possibility.
It's very possible.
But I want to go circle back real quick into what kind
Okay.
of Homestuck posting were you doing, Austin?
I was 13 years old, so it was like really bad. Like, so my whole thing was
Were
that
you
I was
shipping the characters?
No.
I
It
thought
was
you were shipping the
no.
characters. Right
So what I was doing was I was doing like theories where I was like connecting the dots. I was like,
Oh
I
my
understand now, but really I was just noticing very obvious like motifs and metaphors, and it wasn't like a theory at all. It was just something
Homestuck
that
is
was
It was just
Notorious
interpreting
for
the
this.
text. But how many of those
Yeah.
posts got a lot of attention? That would be like, oh my god, you're so right. You're onto something.
No, that shit flopped. I got 0. So what happened was Homestuck blog was a flop. Then I started a different blog.
Was it Piss Vortex?
No, Piss Vortex. I didn't make the name change until like 2015 or something.
Oh, that was a long time to stick with one URL.
Yeah, no, it's been almost
Wait,
10
what
years
was it
of
called
Piss
before?
Vortex. It was something like capitalist businessman. I don't know why I
Jesus.
thought that was funny.
I'm just thinking more and more back into like my formative years, like because I was never on Tumblr for anything other than to look at pictures of boobs. So
That's
I-
enough.
Fair enough.
I would have only ever seen like posts from Tumblr like that like made their way onto other platforms.
I did
So,
not
like,
pop
trying to
off
Oh
figure
until
yeah,
I
Seymour
changed
was
my
like
URL
really
to
big
Piss
on
Vortex.
iFunny for a while. I once had somebody
I remember.
show me something they found from Seymour on iFunny because I didn't tell people in high school that I did Seymour. I did, however, was very vocal about liking tapirs as an animal. So occasionally, this happened twice, people would see a Seymour post and they'd be like, "Hey, this is a weird tapir thing. Don't you think that's so funny?" And I was like, "Ha, yeah, I definitely didn't make that."
That's awesome. I had a similar thing in high school where I think I was like a bit of a maniac. I think there was something wrong with me. I was
Not me.
I was like tormenting
I'm, like,
all
the
of my
least
teachers
poster
with
guy
images
here.
of proboscis monkeys. Like
Was
something
that
like
before or
this is-
after Elmer?
So it was very convergent because I remember distinctly there was these memes of these proboscis monkeys and talking about how their nose looked like
Oh, yeah,
dicks,
yeah.
and then very soon after I started seeing Elmer posts and because I remember very clearly the one where he's swimming in the water and I was like, monkeys can swim, dude. And then I became just I started tormenting all of my teachers with primates. I would change my teachers' desktop backgrounds to be repeating images of proboscis monkeys, or at one point I printed out a photo of a proboscis monkey and cut it into a heart shape and glued it into the back of my engineering teacher's yearbook because I knew he would hate it. There was a lot of things wrong with me, but it was very
qualifying
convergent
was.
with the rise of
No,
the funny animal
I'm
posts.
thinking about this baby monkey thing again, and I don't want to ask why they were baby monkeys, but how did you demarcate not the monkeys, but the animals were babies.
Well, the tapirs, baby tapirs look very different than adult.
Yeah,
tapirs.
they look like weird fuzzy
I
watermelons.
don't even know what a fucking tapir is. Still,
It's the
I
things
thought it
with
was pronounced
prehensile.
tapir.
This is a
I
tapir.
don't know.
It's-
I've always thought tapir. Yeah.
What? Where's my
It's
other
tapir.
tapir merch? This is an adult
I
tapir.
also yeah.
they're those weird fucking dog horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
Um,
things. Yup.
Also, I have on my shirt. I have it says tapir, Merry
Ah.
Christmas. So for
Very nice.
I did not buy the shirt
Okay.
myself. My mom just knew I liked tapirs, and in her way of like trying to communicate and like interact and connect with me as a weird child was to just buy me tapir merch.
Mm-hmm.
So I just have a lot of
Yeah.
like. Where's my? I have a tapir pillow. Like
I have a new
I
follow-up
have
question.
I have a
Why do you
little
have so
airplane
much
pins.
Christmas stuff at hand in the middle of August?
It's the most wonderful time of
So
year.
It's a
I
very nice pillow.
have this I just have this like candy cane tie because it's fun, and I have a bunch of ties, and they're all like hung up in my closet, so it's easy to get to them. And then I just thought I would wear a thematic tapir shirt, so I picked like one of the 4 that I have, and this was the one most accessible because,
Is Seymour Christian or Catholic?
I mean, Catholic's a form of
Seems like a
There's
very
a
Christianity.
right answer and a wrong answer.
It's Seymour. Seymour's a very staunch Catholic.
Yeah,
if I
Seymour-
can
Catholicism
say.
Seymour
is
is-
the form of Christianity.
Seymour's either Catholic
Yeah,
or
everybody
like
else is
something
derivative.
weird like Northern Orthodox, whatever that would mean.
Yeah.
There's a couple different
Completely new religion.
orthodoxes.
Eastern Orthodox sounds like a tapir would be. An
Yeah.
Eastern Orthodox.
Are they? Well, where are
I
they
do
from?
think a
Tapirs are
Somewhere
from South
that
and Central
feels
America,
Oriental.
as well as fucking
Oh, then
where
there's
else?
a
Because
South
there's Malaysian tapirs
There were
which
some
are
in
from Malaya
Thailand.
also.
Yeah.
Okay, they're in
There was-
Thailand.
From where?
So there's like
Thailand.
South American and also a couple Asian species.
That all sounds like the Holy Roman Catholic Church.
A little bit,
It
yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Sounds like the only one Holy Roman and Apostolic Church.
Well,
Well,
because the Catholic Church they have some like because there's the Roman ones, but then the Maronites, they're Catholic, but they're like Lebanese, and then there's the Coptics.
I feel like
They're
Seymour
Egyptian,
would
but-
probably be Coptic. Like I don't know exactly what that
but
entails,
he's-
but it just tracks.
He's from South America. How'd he get there?
Seymour is not
In
from
Egyptian
this world exactly.
yeah, it's a different realm. You
Y'all
understand? It's
have-
like
hold on.
it's an infinite expense of sand dunes, to my understanding.
Is there real
But
lore?
Catholicism is still real.
Yes,
It's like
Okay.
June.
it is exactly like
real.
Dune. It's like Dune. There's a sand realm,
Red
and
Catholic
God
book.
is
Yeah, there's a
real.
sand realm.
And also
God
there's
is
still
real,
names
and there's
like
also
Seymour.
jungle and like ice.
There's jungle. Yeah,
Yeah.
perhaps. It just
What
one
lives
of
at the core of this Sandverse world? Some kind of final boss or something?
Ball.
there was like a map.
There was a
drawn
map
at one
drawn
point,
somewhere. I
can't
don't remember if that was one of us or if that was like some random person. It's
fan
been so
creation, yeah.
long, but I think it was roughly accurate to at least one point in time what we believed.
Yeah.
But the information has updated. New intel has.
I
discovered.
don't know
Maybe so.
that
You
we
read different
have
things now.
like actually maintained any sort of lore Bible whatsoever. It's just kind of been like,
Okay.
well, whatever people think is true is probably close enough.
It's come across as like a series of like creative writing exercises almost at times.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I did actually really like some of the like there's those I wrote a question
The
about
dicta?
this at some point.
Those
Yeah,
are the coolest
the-
fucking thing. I wish I came up with that.
Yeah, the
shit.
videos where it's like the text to speech insane lore.
Yeah,
drop.
that was
Uh,
not me. I did all of the art for them, so like all of the cover art and stuff I did for those. I was kind of just like, if I remember correctly, it was sort of a like a creative writing thing that one of the other people involved did, the person that actually originally made the blog.
Okay.
And I was just sort of like, okay, this is cool as shit. I'm gonna make cool art for these. So I still have like
Yeah.
I don't know, I have all of the art that I made for Seymour. Not all of it, but a lot of it in a folder somewhere, including like all of the whatevers for
Are
those.
there any like unreleased rough gems?
Of those things, I have no idea, because it was honestly like I don't think anybody else was really involved in that process. It was just like, hey, here's this badass thing I made. From what I remember, they just kind of like, from my perception, plopped out fully formed and was like, oh, okay, this is, somebody is taking this very seriously in a way that is very cool, and I still have like a lot of respect for those posts. There was a while where they were unlisted, I think, but now they're not anymore, and I'm so happy that they're available again because they're genuinely some of the coolest writing I've ever seen.
You know, I think between Gorilla Radio Show and Big Story Naturals, we may have collected almost all of the like prominent architects of our current digital experience.
Oh, because
I had your famous Problematic on.
Wow,
not too long ago.
Wow.
And I feel like your like the Sandsverse was sort of responsible for, or is still kind of responsible for the way that a lot of people like type online.
Yeah.
And was sort of the beginning of all of that. So I don't know who we need to collect next, but we might soon have all of the, at least like the 2010s internet people on and onwards, all the ones that matter.
I did actually write later in the document.
The last one we need to get is Andrew Hussey.
Yeah, I wrote like,
honestly, I think you
think
could do it. I think it'd be really funny if you did.
I should try.
I mean, why not?
Yeah. One of my questions was, who do you think has had a more permanent effect on Tumblr users' typing styles and like general like brain chemistry, Sandsverse or Homestuck?
I feel like I can't compete with Homestuck. Like, also, as I said,
I guess
Homestuck was
Homestuck
kind of an influence on Seymour. Like, not really. Like, genuinely, the like all capitalization thing probably wouldn't have happened without Homestuck, but it wasn't a direct reference. It was more of a like very clearly understanding, oh, this establishes a vibe of what this guy is about that's really weird. And yeah, it was like Homestuck did sort of influence that, but also not really, to the point where there was no point where I was like, this is like Homestuck and how those characters talk, even though it's literally how a character in Homestuck talks, and it came from being on a Homestuck roleplay forum. But it was also like,
you know,
kind of its own thing. I feel like it definitely had a wide-reaching impact on Tumblr and certain parts of it and certain things, to the point where I will very occasionally still see like vestiges of it today, and it's like, I'm responsible for that, and I don't know how I feel about that.
I still get Rock Distributor, the gorilla character, in my Twitch chat sometimes.
Wait, what? That's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, he had some good posts with the gorilla swimming underwater.
Yeah, that's one of the ones
great
that had a couple
times. I'm
good
reminiscing
ones.
here. Yeah.
Okay, well, if we're reminiscing,
Yeah, do you know the song "Glory Days" by Bruce Springsteen?
Not off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
I feel like this is like a bygone era of Tumblr. That
I have to say, while the three of us just sit here and watch you two do this, it is. I don't even know if you guys fully understand like the weirdo impact you had on society writ large at our age group, because I was not like this as a child. Like, I did not go on Tumblr.
I was normal.
I fucked around. I was normal, but even as a child who like I played, I
played sports.
Here, but like I played sports. I was like on the varsity teams in high school and shit.
I played sports.
We were all aware. We were all aware of like Homestuck and Tumblr and all.
Yeah, I made Homestuck.
Oddities that come along with it.
No, you did create.
Yeah,
Homestuck.
you made
That's the
Homestuck.
thing,
You made Homestuck. But I'm saying
that's why Bernie Sanders is president.
That's why Bernie can still win.
It's like the whole and the way that people type online, like it's just. You guys had a weird and everlasting impact on posting.
Tumblr has had this like real, not real effect on like the social consciousness of like the American youth ages 20 to 23.
If you know what you're looking for, you can see it.
Yeah.
Well, it also made I've been doing anthropology with people ages 23 to 26. What I've learned is that Tumblr has made the young women and women shaped individuals, women adjacent people, it's like
woman shaped.
Well, woman is a spectrum.
It is. No, you're entirely correct.
And there are people on the spectrum of women. And then and then some of them at the end.
Austin
Anyway,
is on some part of the spectrum.
I'm not gonna speak on that. I don't know where else.
I don't
But
feel
what
like I
will
have
say-
enough of a connection to I maybe like a little bit further into the
You can
episode
call
I'll
them
start
slurs
making
if
those
you want.
jokes.
Yeah,
But-
that hasn't stopped.
But it
anyone
made the
on
women
like-
weirder. I mean, it made the men weirder too, but it made the women weirder in a way that I would like to speak to them and maybe offer some advice. All of them, not all, many of the girlies from Tumblr were absorbing images of like a big, pale, veiny hand on a tiny little thigh, and chokers,
I do
chokers,
recall
and
this
just
era.
all the time bruises on the leg for no reason.
Yeah.
Where the bruises come from?
The
The
aesthetic
hand is
blogs.
holding a cigarette, and they took that energy into real life, but like with the like similarly aged like teenage boys that they were dating.
Okay.
And all of them got real weird. And I mean, that's also Tumblr. I feel like the exposure of
It was two different realities for people
Yeah.
on Tumblr.
I
during
have a
this time
question.
period.
I have a question. So, like, I think like I'm in the more prime age group than like you guys.
Prime for
Yeah,
what?
prime for
Yeah,
what?
what
What
do
does
you
that
mean
mean?
by
Like,
that?
to have
The more canonically
experienced-
relevant
to have seen-
age group.
to have seen like the weird rise and then fall all while still being in school
Okay.
of like how Tumblr worked.
Where were you in
But-
2016?
9/11.
Yeah, that was something I meant to ask
Oh, this
whenever
is
everybody
ironic.
was talking about the ages. Who here remembers 9/11?
It's
Oh,
an important
just
question to
for-
ask.
I was 1 year
I was
old.
3.
I was
I-
less
I
than
this
don't
is a-
remember.
This is a conversation I've had with many a young man. Well,
Recently,
while
It's
we're,
like, oh, you're 24 years old, so
Yeah.
you remember 9/11.
no, they like we're at a candlelit dinner. They're
Yeah.
paying,
Naturally.
and then they go. So, I was just wondering, do you remember 9/11? And I'm like, I do, and they're like, oh my god, that's crazy.
It's so accurate that
Hold on.
these guys are the ones asking because we think about it all the fucking time.
It is. Yeah.
We think about what it must be like to remember 9/11 like 24/7.
I
It left such a huge psychic scar on people, and we don't understand.
We don't.
I
have
remember,
it. We
like-
don't
It was
have
kind
it.
of it was a nice day if you were 5, like I was, because I went home and my
You got off
parents were
school
super
early?
nice to me. They were like, oh,
It's a great day to be 5.
I remember like one of the moments because I, for a little bit of context, took some time off from school during COVID. So I'm like
Mhm.
a 23-year-old
you
senior.
were in school when COVID
well,
happened.
College, like undergrad.
I went through. Yeah.
So I like always feel really old compared to everyone, but the one time that I didn't was the time I was like, there's this one guy, and I'm like, I feel like this guy is definitely in an older age bracket. And then he just like during office hours one time was like, yeah, I was 15 when 9/11 happened. That got me really into conspiracy theories. And I'm like, got it. You're like 30 something. I no longer feel old.
yeah.
Oh, but hold on.
There's
This is my
some guys
question. This is
like
my
that.
question.
Go ahead.
Do you
Greg.
guys remember like? I just need to know what happened to these people. Do you guys remember like the kids when you were in school, like this, like elementary school, who were like just a little bit too into wolves?
See, I did not have a
Where did
wolf
they go on
person.
Tumblr?
I did not have
No,
a
I'm
horse
saying,
girl.
where did
I
they
did, however,
go?
have a girl that was really into geese. Was what my school had.
Ooh. But like, where did those people go? Like the horse
Furries?
girls and like the wolf girls, because they disappeared.
Well, no, they grew
Where
up.
did they go?
The horse girls, depending on what income, like, class background they come from, they might be nurses, or they might be like dental hygienists.
Okay.
Or they're like
They could be in
aspiring
real estate.
influencers. I wouldn't say that they are
how much
influencers,
does
but
make
they're making like get ready with me videos.
Mhm. Yeah, they're doing the pack my Stanley Cup for a walk videos.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay.
The wolf girls are baristas.
Mhm.
Or they are in
They have
grad
dyed
school.
hair, possibly even pronouns.
I think I'm
Very
in love with
interesting,
the
like,
wolf
new
girl.
Yeah, they're baristas or they're in grad school. I think again, like depending on
Why
what
not both?
their class
Why not
background
both?
is. They could be a barista
They
in
could,
grad
yeah.
school. I would
Many
say that
such
they're
cases.
not
And they tell people they're baristaing their way through grad school. But,
Yeah,
you know,
and that they're not doing get ready with me videos, but the other option for those two is like they might have become like entrepreneurs, which maybe means like that they're estheticians, like they're legitimately entrepreneurs, like they're working at like a hair salon or something, or they're doing like an MLM kind of thing, and they're like selling nail polishes. I think that the cat girls they like learn to code.
Mm-hmm. See, I was a warrior cats kid.
I
at
was
recess.
a warrior cat.
You gotta say warrior cat.
I was
girl?
I was not about to say that.
And
Voice.
didn't both of you study computer science at some point?
No,
I did at some
Never.
point.
Well, yeah.
Never.
guess
I hate
Catman.
computers. They should all die.
Catman is a different thing.
So
I did read
Getting
all
so much
warrior
my
cats
computer
books.
science degree did make me a little bit more of a woman than I was when I started.
Okay.
That's how it goes.
I want to circle back to
It's true.
I want to circle back to Seymour's Catholicism for a moment.
Please.
It was maybe my favorite bit on the whole vlog was like when they got like really inexplicably Catholic.
I don't even know like
Wait,
started
what?
that exactly. Like it wasn't me. I was game for it, but I did not come up with it. We just at some point like just had like this vision where it was like, do you know what would be really fucking funny? Catholicism. And it was.
I get that.
It was
Catholicism
so
is
funny.
like inherently funny.
It is inherently
Okay,
there's a
well,
lot
I-
of material.
It's an inherently gauche faith.
Okay, I just like tried
Yeah.
to look up Catholic on the Seymour blog, and I forgot that it also lets you see like asks. And the first thing that comes up is just, you were Catholic though? Declaring yourself as God is heretical. Sorry, sir, but you might be the first sinful tapir. Was that mean?
It's a very Tumblr ask, I will
Yeah.
Are any of you Catholic?
No.
say. Yeah,
Not
no.
at the time
What is-
for
Your
sure.
asses?
Like, I don't know. There's some people that
What's your relationship to the Catholic Church?
I went to Catholic service once or twice. Definitely not like in any way connected. I went once and I dressed all up and it was smelly. I don't know.
You got the bread. You got.
Have
the
you ever
wine.
played Simon Says?
Yeah, is that related to Catholicism?
Yeah, it's
It's
based on
mostly
Catholic
Catholic.
Mass.
Oh, I did not know that.
I didn't know that.
Because the priest does one thing, and then you all copy him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Priest stands up, everyone stands up. Priest sits down, everyone sits down. The hokey pokey is
One
also
thing I
based on
have
Catholic
discovered,
Mass.
though, while looking through Seymour's search for Catholic is, one, I did not make most of the post about being Catholic. I can see that. for
Okay,
sure.
this is-
But also,
this is
I am
a
being
Catholic
reminded of
infiltrator.
how much Seymour loved Jill Stein, and I very distinctly remember people getting annoyed with him and being like, how dare you suggest we vote for third party? You're going to steal votes away and make Trump president.
And that's what happened.
That is what
That's
happened.
exactly
It's Seymour's
what happened.
fault, really.
It is.
The
I
amount
wanna
that
talk about
Hillary
all the- yeah.
lost by was definitely like perfectly correlated with the Seymour Seymour influence that got Jill Stein votes.
Can
Yeah,
someone
right,
look
correct.
up like Hillary Clinton, Michigan 2016
Yeah,
electoral
Google
results? Because
this.
I'd like to see what the numbers are, which I mean, maybe my
And
follow-up
compare it to
question.
Seymour's follower count.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Is given that the blog still exists, you still have followers, you don't know how many of them are dormant, how many are active, like what would your price be
Ooh,
for
Bad news.
a
Hillary
presidential
lost
endorsement?
Like
Michigan
$30,
by,
I don't know.
like,
Sorry,
10,000.
750. I need money for rent.
Got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
How much did Hillary lose Michigan by?
Like 10,000 only.
Well, yeah,
That's
and
less than
Seymour
how many votes
had-
Seymour has. I'm sure
Yeah,
at
it's
least
true.
a fifth of Seymour's followers are in Michigan.
it's entirely
Okay.
possible.
It's entirely possible that this is
It's a big Catholic community in Michigan.
I really wish
In
I
Detroit?
could like. Sorry, I'm just
They all
looking.
vote.
At,
I'm seeing right here on the Wikipedia page, they all voted Jill Stein. I'm reading right
Okay,
here.
I would
that
honestly-
all the Catholics in Michigan
if
voted Jill
somebody
Stein.
voted for Jill Stein because of Seymour, I would be so happy. Like that would be so
And
funny.
you were
I don't
not
care.
old enough to vote at that age,
I don't
right?
think so. I definitely
I
no.
don't
I
think
was
anybody
not
who's seen
old
this-
enough.
No, I
to
wasn't
vote
old
during the
enough to vote.
2016 election.
was anyone?
I was. I made
Okay.
a mistake. I made a
Oh.
mistake.
We don't
Who do
we don't
you
need to
think
bring it
I
up.
voted for? Look at me!
He's bald and
Look
white.
at me!
Okay, so the
Look
mistake
at
was
me!
voting for Hillary. I get it.
Oh yeah, well.
Yeah.
You do look like a guy that could be a Democrat, but like a like a vote blue no matter who.
We
Like
could start our own version. Of
I used to
God
look
Save
like
America.
the guy who absolutely did vote for Donald Trump in 2016.
did you?
Yeah.
I mean, I
Okay,
voted
no
for
more.
Trump.
Well, Greg.
I know
had
that
hair
you
at the
did.
time,
I
which
just
made
don't
him
know
look more
what they
racist.
look like.
It was the only presidential vote I've ever cast or planned to, so I really fucked myself.
Well, you might
You
need to
really
cast.
fucked
You
up,
might need to
dog.
cast another one, like just to offset the
Yeah,
balance.
you
don't have to-
need to vote for Biden still, guys. It's really important. He needs our help.
I'm gonna write in
Please.
Biden. I'm gonna
We
write in
can still
Biden.
win.
for you
Don't
guys.
cast your vote
Still,
for
you
Biden.
can
just
still
make another
vote for
bad
Biden. I'm
decision.
sure, like through some technicality, there's
I
some
mean,
places where he's
you
still on the
can
ballot.
write in anyone.
I can cancel it out completely. I can write in Hillary.
It's true.
Yeah.
You still
That's
have time.
very true.
Here's how Hillary can still win.
So, I wanted to talk about all the times that people have gotten mad at Seymour. Off the top of my head, I remember obviously the infamous at the peak of Sandsverse frenzy of the mania, when everyone and their sister was making a Sandsverse blog, when like people would get into arguments in character as their little characters. That one incident where someone made a very ill-advised comment and followed it up with "Please don't think I'm racist."
Please don't think I'm
in the
racist.
typing
Come
speed.
on.
Maybe one of the funniest things that's ever happened online.
I have tried telling that story to like normie non-Tumblr people, and it just never lands. And it's really hard to like explain all of the things going on in there because it's like. Because like there was a time this
There's
summer
so
where I
many
was in the
moving
fucking
parts.
jungle with people that did not know Tumblr at all, and I was like, yeah, you know, I was part of a really big Tumblr blog, and I had this one event where like I accidentally led to something where somebody said the phrase "Please don't think I'm racist," and I tried to explain everything that happened, and they were just looking at me like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's see if.
I remember
don't
that
wanna
very
have to-
distinctly. That was a moment. I like to look back at it and laugh a fucking lot, but like one of the other people involved in the blog who isn't involved anymore, and whatever, that's a whole thing. But like they would get really upset if people brought it up because it was like it turned out the person that said that ended up like going on to do some like insane bullshit with like a Discord server in some sort of like freak like suicide. I don't fucking know. It was some sort of like pacts made with it. It was some insane like fucking abusive like Discord server group chat shit that I was not part of that. I don't know what's going on there. That had nothing to do with me. The person that did that did end up being, like, I think a very strange and probably bad and unhealthy person to be around from what I heard, but it was like,
Okay.
personally, I can look back on that and be like, this is a weird thing somebody said, very poorly imitating something I was doing already not the best. And, like, it's just personally very funny to me, but some people are like, that person was a freak, let's not even talk about it. However, it's still so fucking funny.
Please
Well,
don't think I'm racist.
It is very funny. I'm sorry to say.
It's so funny. It's the thing is, it's funny. It's so weird.
If you just go onto Tumblr right now and you just type in "Please don't think I'm racist,"
Does it come up with the
there
original
are
post?
It doesn't come up with the original post, but it comes up with hundreds of thousands of people with 0 likes or reblogs just typing in, "Do you remember? Please don't think."
Oh, I
I'm
could
racist."
never forget.
How
So-
can
So it's a little bit before your time, or you should go ahead because I have.
I was just gonna real quick say for
Tumblr
anybody
story.
that doesn't know what the fuck we're talking about because they weren't on Tumblr at the time. Basically,
You
here's a
had to
quick
be there.
like recap of what Sandsverse was. I made a tapier blog where I pretended to be a baby tapier. A lot of people
That sold
decided,
sand?
yes, sold sand. A lot of people, for whatever reason, decided, oh, that's funny. What if I did the same thing? And it became this whole weird thing where like a bunch of people were like aping my shit and doing their own thing. We did not like that
Yeah.
too much for the most part. It was allowed a couple times, but for the most part, it was a bunch of people like doing their own version of the thing I and a couple friends were doing with my baby tapir, making the funny little posts. And then some people
But worse.
started to do that in a way to where they would like actually get in arguments with people. And then there was someone that got in an argument over someone that was like a fucking turf and being like transphobic and shit. And then they were like both baby animal weird broken English typing and like panic attack cry
Yeah.
typing, which was a convergence of two very bad ways of talking on tumblr.com. And it got really bad, and it got to the point where they just like called the person a monkey, referencing the Fruits of the Ape 100 blog, which is a proboscis monkey. And
Yeah.
turned out that that person was fucking Indian. So they got very, very upset having been called a monkey by a stranger online. And the person, like,
Yeah.
cry typing was like, no, I didn't mean it like that. Actually, it was a reference to this tapir. To this
You don't
ape, this
understand. It's a
monkey
reference to my
blog
post.
that sells fruits. Please, like, it was like, I'm not being weird and racist about this. But all of it was fucking.
And also, I'm feeling very suicidal.
Yeah, I'm
right
very
now.
suicidal right now. Don't say trans cult. I know somebody that was in a cult, and that's really offensive. Please don't think I'm racist. I just hate you for being alive, sort of deal. And then it was like
It was maybe one of the greatest.
it was so fucking insane. It was
What,
everything
like,
that
a
happened
cultural
in that
moment
was like
distilled.
every step along the way was fucking insane. And then I just get to look at that and be like, I caused this somehow.
I fucked up somewhere.
I'm not gonna say I fucked up. It's not my fault. I didn't.
Yeah, no, it's
That's
not
somebody
your
else.
fault,
That's
but,
somebody else.
Oh yeah, other incidents where people may have gotten mad at Seymour. I recall at one point there was a naming contest for
Yes,
the Franklin
Park Zoo. So I don't know if like people got mad at Seymour, but I started to get a little bit annoyed with people personally. Like we kind of all work, so it was like, oh wait, they're just gonna kind of like annoy this zoo, because it was like I looked at the Facebook and I saw a lot of people. So quick recap for the fucking whatever audio audience that was
Yeah.
not part of Tumblr at this time. There was this zoo in Franklin Park, wherever that is, that was like, hey, we have a baby tapir that was just born. What should we name it? And we made a post about it on Seymour that was like, hey, because it was also a fundraiser, and it was like, we can get people to pay money for tapirs. We like this animal. We should funnel funds into it if we can. And it was, so we kind of posted that, and then it was like, oh shit, there's 4 specific names that I offered, and none of them were Seymour. And a lot of people would just make
Yeah.
comments on the Facebook and shit like that was just like, name it Seymour, name it Seymour, name it Seymour. So then we decided,
Yeah.
okay, well, we should actually, we should just sort of endorse like an actual name that's on there. And so we picked, I believe it was Ishel or something, which was, I don't know the full context of that, but I think it was like a Maya name for some sort of like moon goddess or something. Yeah, a goddess of the moon represents women and femininity. It was a very cool name, a good name for a baby tapir. But
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody actually got mad at us for that, but I do know
Okay.
that I started to get a little bit annoyed with the audience for like doing that with like basically just accidentally bringing about people harassing this zoo. But I do think that like posting about it and getting people to do it was at least sort of part of people like getting people interested in this and donating to it. So I do kind of like take a
Yeah.
little bit of credit for people donating to that cause.
Yeah, and I think this sort of little micro phenomenon did get people interested in very weird looking animals.
Oh yeah,
I
they're the
think.
best.
Like not like the entire.
How much did
interest
it
in-
inspire you to go down this path of never making more than $10 an hour?
I make 15 an hour personally.
Mm.
Sometimes 16.
So
You make more money than Austin.
I think it was definitely so. Like what happened was, I really liked proboscis monkeys, and Tumblr was providing me a constant.
So you
stream
liked
of these
them before
images.
you saw Elmer?
It was like around the same time.
Okay,
I feel like.
so it's like chicken or the egg.
To the
Who
point where
knows?
it's to the point where I can't be sure if I saw it from Elmer first or from like an unrelated meme, but it was very much exacerbated greatly by the Elmer posts because at one point I created a proboscis monkey blog, and I tried to update it 3 times a day with new images I found online of proboscis monkeys, but it got really hard because I was holding myself to the 3 posts a day thing, and there's only so many images online.
So many images,
But-
especially that don't just have their dick out.
Yeah, but it eventually got to the point where like I was searching for these images like so regularly that I was like learning real primate facts constantly, and I was like, man, I should like study this.
Oh, hell yeah. That kind of reminds me of one of the really scary things whenever like AI image generation started to come out is I would play with it, especially like the shittier ones, and I've used that a couple times actually for Seymour posts because it like creates a very specific kind of really fucked up image,
Yeah.
which is very fitting of the vibe. But I would like look up, like try and make baby tapir images, and then I would be like, I have seen enough tapir images on Google that I can recognize like the composition of this and like the specific sort of background style and the specific
You can
pose.
recognize
It
the
was like I could
photographers.
literally like peer into the patterns of how how baby tapir pictures are formed in real and see like what the AI was picking up on, and that was, I think, one of the weirdest experiences of my life.
I think we have very similar brains, you and me. Which, by the way,
I don't want
what
to go
were you-
out on a limb here, but
But what were you? Let's talk about. You said you were in Belize, right?
I was. Before we get to
Yeah.
that, real quick, I think
Okay, yeah.
an important thing, like a really fun piece of, I think, Seymour lore that is kind of related to you not being able to like know whether it was Elmer first or just generally seeing the monkeys around. Whenever I went to make Seymour, I had in my mind, I was thinking of Saiga antelopes, which are another very weird fucking looking animal that I have a
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
appreciation for. But I forgot what they were called. So whenever I went to make a like Seymour for fucking MS Parp or whatever and was getting a picture of it, I just typed in tapir into the Google search bar. As far as I know, having never seen those creatures, and was immediately like, okay, this is not what I was looking for, but this is close enough. So I like to think of it as there being like a moment of divine intervention that brought
Yeah.
like tapirs specifically
A
into the
beautifully happy
forefront of
The
that.
lathe of heaven. Has
Yeah, like I
granted
don't think
you
I heard of
Seymour.
tapirs before I typed in tapir and started making Seymour shit.
Mm.
Also-
yeah, I think that was contact from Seymour.
I think so too. Also, I'm gonna send. This is a screenshot from before we like completely abandon this. From whenever the shit happened with the naming of the baby tapir, I like messaged the Facebook group because I felt really bad that we had just accidentally brought about a bunch of spam in all of their comments. They were just like, I was like, hey, I shared a link of your fundraiser on a tapir blog, and a lot of my fans decided to comment suggesting you name the tapir Seymour. I'm sorry if that caused any sort of disruption or whatever. But I've tried to encourage people to like spend money and stuff, and I hope I was able to bring some exposure to that. I appreciate everything you're doing for tapirs. Thank you, sending my best wishes, whatever. And then the next day they were like, hi, thank you for reaching out. We love seeing the enthusiasm for tapirs, and we're thrilled that so many folks decided to donate and play their part in tapir conservation efforts. Ishel is a great name that holds special meaning to her keepers, and we're looking forward to watching her grow and be a wonderful ambassador for her species. I very much regret not asking what they meant by holds a special meaning to her keepers, and then I feel like what is this, like 10 years, 6 years later or whatever, is maybe it's been too long to say hi. What do you mean by that?
A bit too late. Were there any other notable like? Oh, by the way, we see you again, Virgil. You've returned.
welcome back.
Hello.
Hi, welcome back. Sorry, is there anything important that you want to ask that we should catch up on?
Yeah,
Well,
what?
I just-
fill us
I
in on
wanted
what you
to
were talking about.
I was trying to share a little bit of I have a story about one of my enemies who was
Okay, enemies, let's hear it.
a formerly very Tumblr famous person that I believe like currently throws harm reduction parties in Seattle
What is
that
it?
are
Okay.
fun. They're like
Yeah,
I think
really
that
high, but
they're
also
fun. They're
use narcotics.
fundraising for harm reduction, but to my
Or
understanding,
should I signal boost this on Seymour?
to my understanding, the money goes to paying their rent, which is a form of
Yeah, that's a
reducing
form of
harm.
harm reduction. I can get behind that.
But long before that, she was on Tumblr, and I think her claim to fame, or she's got many, but one that I really like was when she was insisting that everyone stop saying that something sucks because it's a slur, because it refers to the woman/gay man's role in sex. Which is
Okay.
degrading.
Awesome.
And it's like actually lots of other people can suck dick too.
Yeah,
Anybody can suck dick, really.
Anybody can. You know,
It's
who among us
activity for all
hasn't?
people.
It's not just women and gay men, I'll tell you. Lots of people are sucking dick.
It's
Lots of
accessible.
straight men too.
Yeah, and
Lots
more
of
and more
straight
it's
men are
happening.
sucking dick.
Yeah.
And is it degrading? I don't know.
you
Some
want
some
it
might say it's empowering even.
So I don't have anything like Seymour. I don't think has many times directly referenced blowjobs. We try to make him seem mostly sexless as much
Like,
as we could, except for when it was
Catholic.
really funny.
Yeah.
However, there was a time where somebody getting mad at Seymour insisted that the phrase like pee your pants or piss your pants was code for telling someone to kill
I
themselves.
remember that. I do remember
It was
that.
like, this is actually just a form of like violent suicide baiting
I remember-
under like the guise of telling someone to piss themselves.
I remember the pee your
It
pants
has
era.
its roots back to harassing turfs by sands, but I don't.
Are we not allowed to tell turfs to kill themselves?
We're allowed
Well,
to.
apparently you're not even allowed
That's
to
why I
tell them
don't
to piss
have
their
a blog
pants.
I thought I was. I was removed from Tumblr very unceremoniously for many months following this incident.
Because
but-
of woke?
because of woke.
Because of woke.
But
On that note, I'll see if I can
for
dig it up in like a little bit. But somebody did at one point make fan art of Seymour pissing in his pants.
that's awesome.
Is that fan art, or
I
like
think
do
the
we call that
weirdest
something else at that
moment
point?
I've ever had as the creator of Seymour is looking in the like sandsvendor100 tag and looking and being like, that is someone drawing him pissing his pants and blushing, which is my fault. I did make a post where I made a series of GIFs where he was wearing jorts in a puddle of water and pissed so hard it turned the
Yeah, that does sound
and then
like
the
it's
green
on
leg
you,
got turned
actually.
into soup, and it was in response to somebody saying something about, oh, you can can soup, or you can make pea soup. I don't know, some bullshit like that about soup, pea, and cans, and I'm too drunk to
can't
get it
pea
right.
soup.
Like, yeah, exactly. And then it was like, oh, actually, Seymour does pea soup,
It was
and
very
that's where
ill-advised.
it comes from. Is his
Can you let us know, like, is Seymour a member of the community?
which one?
LGBT?
Oh no,
No, Seymour hates those people.
Does Seymour have pronouns?
No, none of them. Seymour is like fluid or whatever Donald Trump
I
is.
will say
Ah.
there was a time in 2016 where the sandsvendor100 blog was repeatedly insisting that no taper is gay.
No tapir is
no
gay,
tapier
because
is
tapirs,
gay. There's no gay tapier.
tapirs. Every tapir is male, but no tapir has sex.
Can they be allies?
No,
No.
they have to be homophobic.
No.
Culturally, no, that's not allowed. There's kind of a big stigma.
That's rough. That's just
Yeah.
what it's
Very
like in New
oppressive
Jersey.
culture, yeah.
I don't think there's a single person that has ever been involved with Seymour that wasn't queer in some way, but it's also like
It was Tumblr.
we were the
It is
types to
Tumblr.
realize it's really funny if he's just a little bit, like just a teensy bit homophobic.
Yeah.
So you were ahead of your time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
you were
yeah.
the first people to make homophobic jokes, but in a woke way.
I don't know if we actually made that many homophobic jokes, but we probably did make a couple that
We're
somebody that was very determined
gesturing.
to make us look good, like look bad,
Yeah.
could dig up.
Gesturing towards homophobia is a huge hit these days. You really
It's
were
a big
predicting
hit
the
with the
market.
kids.
Yeah, we should have done that. Like, we should have waited a little
numbers
bit
on
to
this
do it, I
podcast.
think.
What?
Well, you guys
Greg,
said
I think that you just are homophobic sometimes on this podcast.
me.
Yeah, Greg,
No.
can we get a compilation of like everything that you've said to Austin in the
Everything.
past hour?
That also.
Greg is like, how could it be a hate crime if I love doing it?
I will
Well, I
say
love-
This is
Awesome.
true. How can it be a hate crime if you're not hating doing it?
Yeah.
If
Greg
you're
is in
enjoying
it for
it,
the
like-
love of the game, okay?
Yeah.
It will never be a
All
hate
love the
crime.
game.
It's just I love gay people so much, and I wish they could go to the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah, but
They just can't. It's actually my like deeply ingrained Catholic mind. I actually. Sorry, that's Ozzy.
Does a gay person walk by you and you like pray for them a little
I
bit?
clock him immediately.
What?
I
No.
clocked my sister when she was like 6 years old. I was like,
That's crazy. My one of my favorite Seymour
and I was
posts
right.
of all time is it just
Okay, favorite Seymour post of all time.
well one of them. I'm sure I
We're
might
gonna
have
need to
another
get a
one, but
rundown of
one of
this.
the
I can't wait for it to be one that I didn't make, and then I
yeah,
feel
yeah, no,
really
that
bad
I'm
and
scared
cry
of
myself
that.
to
No,
sleep.
I mean I have a couple of favorite posts, but one of the more iconic ones I should say
Spread the odds.
rather is the one where it's just Seymour saying, "Oh my God, have you seen the news?" And someone's like, "What? What did you see, Seymour?" And he just responds, "They're printing out the Bible in the vernacular tongue and distributing it to the lay people." It was very funny at the time.
Yeah,
Was
that's
this
pretty
made
good.
by the Catholic
That's still
poster,
funny.
the Catholic
Yeah,
people?
that one I don't think was me, but that one was really funny, and I still like that one. I really that one was really
Yeah.
funny.
Who did the one
I
about
need
Jesus
to like crawl through this and see how Catholicly.
Jesus
tucking his
curled up
arms
into
and
his
legs
arms.
into a ball? And,
So that
yeah.
was the same person.
Okay.
I did just check. It's so nice being able to just search the Seymour blog and see who made what post. So those were both by I don't know if I should say their name. I should have probably like checked with the other people that made the blog and been like,
Nope.
"Hey, I'm gonna go on a podcast. Is that okay?" But
Nope.
I didn't. So
I can
I'm,
edit
like,
out the
going
name
rogue
anyway.
here.
I feel like I may know who it is.
That person made some of the best Seymour posts ever, including Jesus didn't die. He just curled up into a ball. And then also the
Is that one made on Easter?
also
I think
all
so.
of the dicta. All of the dicta were made by that person.
Yeah,
that was the
okay.
person that actually made the blog before me, and then I was like, "Hey, can I be on this too, please?"
Yeah.
But they made some of the best posts that are genuinely one of the most creative people I know.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily want to be like, "Hey, this is who made Seymour. Track them down."
Yeah.
But no, that person I still like have a lot of respect and appreciation for that person's writing skills. They were incredible,
Yeah.
and they made
Tumblr,
Seymour
I
like
think, really has scared a generation of people into silence.
What do you mean by that?
You know, don't
It
put
is.
this person's name in the podcast. We don't want anybody to know they were.
I didn't ask them, and I don't want to
Yeah.
put them on blast and be like, "Hey, I know you've kind of been private, like
Yeah.
generally a little bit more private for the past like 6 years. What if I just told everybody that you made Seymour and like
Yeah.
it referenced a post that you made that people would recognize and be able to track you down from? Like,
We should be doing more libel and slander online.
I just don't want my friends from like when I was 13 to get gang stalked.
Yeah. Ideally not.
I think it's a policy failure that there's any website in America that would make that happen.
Well, if you're listening
This
to
is
this
Biden's
episode right
America.
now, you are being gang stalked, and they are.
I don't know if
watching
that's
you, and
true.
They are going to get you if you don't immediately
Look out
fire
your
your
window
weapon.
This
right
feels
now.
like a really
Out the
good
window.
chance. I'm gonna run real quick because I need to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
By the way, if you've listened this far, you should subscribe to our Patreon on patreon.com/Gorilla Radio Show. Please, please, please.
And that was actually the key word for all of you at home. I know that you were waiting for it, but in case you missed it, that was your signal.
Yes.
It's time to
You've been
move.
activated.
It's time to move
You
out.
have to move. You have to move. You are being gang stalked. It's
Okay.
happening.
Our
And
trusted
tune
warriors.
in next week for more updates.
Yeah, and if you are being gang stalked, just know that you can't get away. If you got the vaccine, they know where you are at all times. You cannot hide.
Fun.
It's time to
Yeah.
make your last stand.
Both
There's-
of them. All
There's
three of them.
several.
Even. Well, Moderna, Pfizer, J&J. You know, you got one of those.
We're just talking
Just
COVID
COVID.
vaccines.
Just COVID. If you
Okay.
got
Oh, yeah,
if you got
only
the
COVID.
if you got the Fauci stab, it's over for you. Okay.
Yeah. Of
But he's
so-
Italian. Shouldn't you like him?
That's one of your
Yeah.
people.
Not even that Italian, guys.
His
Also,
name is
I've
Anthony
got,
Fauci.
like-
What do you mean he's not that Italian?
No, I'm not that Italian.
Oh.
So you're not a part of
Also,
the
I have
worldwide
like
team.
10 minutes. I have like 10 minutes before I have
Okay.
to hop off.
Okay, tell me your important questions.
Okay, yeah, let's Yeah, okay, Greg,
Who's your biggest?
go for
Who was Seymour's biggest enemy?
biggest
I mean, not like theoretically. I mean, like who was your
Practically,
who
in
was
real life.
yeah practically as a poster. Who
Who
was
you got
Seymour's
beef
biggest
with?
antagonist? Who
For
was
me,
Seymour's biggest
personally,
antagonist?
biggest antagonist was one of the other people that kept trying to tell me what post I could and couldn't make, and that really annoyed me. Publicly, the way Seymour operated, I think biggest enemy was just all of the people that were like copying his bullshit, and that turned out fine a couple of times. So I know this is a question that was somewhere on the document, but it was like, how did the other blogs come about? Those were just random people that like were aping on our shit in a way that was originally opposed a little bit, but then it was like, wait, no. These people are doing it in the same way, and these people are really funny, and like they actually get it. So it was not like we knew the people that made Horace and Elmer. Those were just random people.
They just got
and then
the
we ended
joke.
up kind of they got like absorbed into the fold. But like everyone else, like the Blees don't think I'm racist people. That was like, I don't know who you are or why you're being
bit of a
like,
weak
I'm
shot.
14
That
years
is
old and I'm not
genuinely
prepared
my
for this
favorite
level of
Seymour
fame.
post, though,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Well, it's not a
was
Seymour
that?
post. It's a Seymour like post.
Yeah,
It's better
it's a
for me
Seymour
if
like
it is a
post.
Seymour.
Do you feel like, given your similar upbringings and backgrounds, that you can relate to Jojo Siwa?
I don't know who that is beyond knowing the name a little bit. Was JoJo Siwa also transgender and homeschooled for a couple of years, but not many?
I think she was homeschooled for several years because she was a child star
seen her
Disney
vibe.
child
by
star.
design of her
Yeah,
parents.
same thing, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Her vibe is very much homeschooled.
As far as her gender goes, I think for now, woman. But
For
you know,
now.
who's
There's always-
to
there's
Who
always
can say?
time.
Who's to
yeah,
say?
I mean the future has many years in it, and there's
That's
so
true.
many different genders to become in the future.
Mm-hmm.
They'll probably make new ones even.
I think Tumblr is very experienced at that specific market.
Yeah, I mean,
There's an entire like gender black market going on there that is really lucrative. I mean, I feel like it's like hit a low in terms of how profitable it is, but it was a thing for a while.
Yeah.
well, I think that's like any market. You know, when there's too many of something, then the value
Yeah,
drops.
too many genders.
And I think right
Too
now we're
many.
sort of like,
Speaking
yeah,
of Homestuck's effects,
Yeah, speaking
We
of
need-
Homestuck.
It all goes back to Homestuck.
In a
I
way.
think like we would need a gender recession and then sort of like gender unemployment.
all those Briska cosplayers was like the roaring 20s of gender.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay,
like-
Greg,
yeah.
what else? What else you got? What else you got?
I don't know. I wasn't on Tumblr. I don't even know what to ask. I don't know.
Yeah, Greg was
Yeah.
just on Tumblr for the porn.
How do you make
I
the
think.
goddamn posts work? I couldn't
The
ever figure out how to
only-
make the posts work.
So loud.
You press the button and then you type.
Yeah.
Why's everything got to be hashtagged?
Yeah, we do a lot of
I
hashtag speaking.
I don't think I ever use that many hashtags. Occasionally I would.
Mm.
Why y'all like do whole novels in the hashtags?
Yeah, what's going on with
It's
that?
just like it's
It's
a
a-
funny
it's a
little
Tumblr
place where you can
cultural
talk
thing.
without like really talking.
It's like whispering to a friend
Like a
rather than.
postscript?
It's like
But
it's
everybody
exactly
can
like
see
whispering
it.
to a friend.
But everybody can see
No,
it.
no. Only the people that follow the original blog can see it. If it gets reblogged, then nobody can see it.
Mhm.
You have to go to the original post
This
to
is
see
also
it.
It's
why
insane
I
that
see
this
Tumblr
website got any
reblogging is
traction
one
at
of the
all.
most fucked up things I've ever
Yeah.
encountered in my entire life.
You
You know
used
that Tumblr was sold to WordPress, I think, in 2019.
Yeah, how did that go for them?
Not
hold
well.
on, for $700,000. That is a McMansion in New Jersey. Like, I don't have $700,000,
I
but
could
it's
do a lot with it.
plausible that someone who I don't know, like has a decently well-paying job and has
Yeah, if I
worked a
worked for
couple
like
years.
30 years and didn't pay rent,
You don't
maybe I
even
could
have to
afford
pay
that.
like work for 30 years because you could just go to the bank and be like, hey, can
They'll give you
I get a loan?
$700,000.
And they'd be like, what's it for? And you're like, well, I'm looking to buy Tumblr.com. And they'd go, yeah, that's a sound investment.
And they'd give you the money.
And they'd give you the money. Like that's a human person amount of money versus like Instagram. If you were to sell that, it's like valued in the billions or trillions. Like
Yeah, if didn't
Tumblr
Facebook buy
is-
Instagram for like
Your
$1
credit
billion?
union isn't going to give you Twitter money.
No, but like the five of us, like
We could go
assuming
down
that we all
to the
have
credit
jobs,
union.
like yeah, we
Not with my
could do like a
credit.
co-op. We could do a co-op Tumblr situation.
Yeah, of course.
For sure, if we pooled all of our money together,
And we could make Tumblr University real.
5 of us could totally afford Tumblr.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think we could. The payments on a $700,000 house, I probably paid that in rent living in Seattle.
Yeah.
that's true. That's true.
I probably paid that mortgage before.
A $700,000 mortgage. I'm going to be finance guy for a minute. A $700,000
Okay.
mortgage on a 30-year term. If we're just going to say it's just
Ooh, we're
a
paying
loan,
off
'cause it's
Tumblr
not
for
actually
30
a house.
years.
Yeah, I don't know.
We
It's kinda-
can-
Well, we'll
We
just
could
say it's a
sell it.
30-year loan because that's standard.
Yeah.
Standard for what?
Your
site,
payments, we're not going to do like P&I. You don't need any of that shit because it's not a house. So
Okay.
the actual loan itself is probably like $2,900 to $3,200 a month,
We could make that happen, maybe.
Yeah,
roughly.
easy.
With no
that
other
happen.
things.
See, I just signed a
Easy.
mortgage. I can't make
We
this
just
happen.
all have to get
all my
have to
money's
get
tied up in a
barista
land
jobs.
deal.
I'll just try and get a raise at my soup job.
There you go.
Well,
Love
you
to
gotta
work
start
at
doing
Soup.
SpawnCon on the Seymour page.
Yeah, start
I
selling,
don't
like,
think. I think
candles.
it's too late to monetize Seymour. I'm gonna be
Start
honest.
doing
It's
drop
too late.
shipping.
I don't think it is because a lot of these like social media like manager like the people who are doing influencer marketing, they're not that smart. You show them like your follower count and like
Yeah, I
halfway
swear.
decent
Promise.
engagement
Trust me.
metrics.
$50,000 on Tumblr is worth something. I promise.
Yeah.
It's not like it's difficult to get like more than 100 notes still, unless it's really funny.
Yeah.
It's not like Seymour has recent like 5-note posts or anything.
You just say that you have like very engaged followers, very loyal.
Mm-hmm. They're
Loyal
they're ride or
fan
die.
base.
Mhm.
You know what
Yeah,
you should have
yourself
done?
an affiliate
You know what
link.
you should have done? You should have started a podcast 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, what would that have even entailed? Would it be like?
knows?
Would it
You
just
just
be
never
like?
podcast.
Just
You'd have to be doing the Seymour
voice.
voice the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
the
you have to do
text
the
speech
voice the entire time.
But you could
Would
do
it just
like
be? Would it just be like this?
you could do like current news. but in
Oh,
the
wait,
Seymour
wait,
voice.
hold on.
You
We
could,
gotta.
you could.
Would it just be this?
Hello, I am Seymour. This is my podcast. Give me money, please.
Yeah,
I don't think that would work.
I think that would
For
work.
3
I think
years.
that would.
I'm not convinced that that would
It would work
work.
on YouTube.
You get
Shorts.
listeners for like one episode for
Give me
sure.
money, please.
Yeah.
All the Asian space.
Yeah.
Give me money.
I mean,
Give me
people
money.
listen to Gorilla Radio Show.
They'll give money to
That's
anything.
what I'm saying.
So, Chandra, do you have any particular specific questions before I get to my last
About
two?
Sandverse?
Or really anything Tumblr?
I feel like we've answered like three and a half.
this is like
questions,
most of the
which-
questions that I
This
want.
content, baby.
That's content. That's how the cookie crumbles.
Well, okay. So last question I asked was, "Are you Christian? Was he Christian or Catholic?" And apparently, there was a Catholic arc. I didn't know that
Yeah,
happened.
no,
That
There was a
gotten
Catholic
dark.
arc.
Very
I wasn't like super
devout,
involved in that,
yeah.
but there was very much a Catholic arc, and it was a big thing. And I made like a couple pictures of Seymour being in love with Pope Alessandro, the like somethingeth, and like
Yeah.
I at one point made. There was at one point in time going to be a Gerald Tapir video game with like pixel art where Gerald would run around and try and save Giuseppe from the evil Pope. That did not happen. But there is like a couple pieces of art on my computer still of like the pixelated run cycle sort of deal.
Interesting. Huh. Well, so my questions. First off,
Yeah, we can lightning round them. I'll try and be
I'll
quick.
lightning round. How do you think Seymour has like altered your life course in terms of like, or even just like tapirs in general?
I I think it's like firmly put me in the category of weird girl that I just can't escape.
Mhm.
And it's like I can never like talk to someone in a way where I don't eventually reveal that I'm sort of in a very weird way with absolutely zero credit, like the least credit of anyone involved, responsible for this weird tapir blog. And also like my favorite animal is this creature that like basically nobody knows about and it's like, oh, that's an anteater. It's not. I think it's just kind of cemented me being the person that I am in a way that is very easy to convey to people and be like, hey, look at this animal. This is me. Sort of deal.
No, I get that. I believe that spending a significant amount of time on Tumblr on high school instead of like going to the club or something has definitely permanently altered my brain chemistry. And because I was seeing so many sandsvendor posts and such, I believe that was at least partially responsible for my current condition. Yeah, I should have been at the club.
Can I ask, like, did this ever turn into like a furry thing for you?
Not exactly. I mean, for me, it was like I have very recently gotten into furry stuff, so I did eventually like succumb.
But like unrelated.
But unrelated, and also like I personally like have in my mind like I can never be a tapir furry. Like first of all, the like couple that exist are a little bit weird, and it's like I'm not into that. I couldn't be a tapir in that way, but it's also like no, for me it's like pigs and weird antelopes. Like I could not do a tapir. That would feel wrong. That would feel like Seymour is his own thing, and I can't insert myself into that.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't necessarily have to be like Seymour as a tapir. I get it.
No, like not everybody, but like people involved with Seymour have always been like a little bit furry adjacent. Forever. Like there's always been like it's not like been an antagonistic relationship, but it's like I could not be a tapir furry.
Yeah,
I could never.
My other question for you is like, what is your relationship to Sonic the Hedgehog and its related universe?
I think extent of my relationship for Sonic the Hedgehog can be summed up in I played Shadow the Hedgehog on a friend's GameCube a lot and enjoyed it a lot, and I would play like Newgrounds Sonic dress-ups Hedgehog creator games, and that's about the extent of it. I unfortunately do not have formative experiences with Sonic the Hedgehog other than like watching some of it on 4Kids.
Virgil's doing like forensics on you right now.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Do phrenology. Do furry phrenology on me.
Sonic and Homestuck are like they're circles of a Venn diagram that have a lot of overlap.
I was not in the overlap area. I wouldn't say.
Yeah, I'm just I'm asking questions.
I'm asking the important questions.
Yeah. No. Don't worry. I'm not implying anything. I'm just asking questions. I swear.
Well, there's nothing wrong with liking Sonic. One of my best friends loves Sonic, and that's fine. And I
have Sonic fan friends.
Exactly.
It's not weird.
Not that
I
there's
know
anything
people
wrong
that like
with
Sonic.
I think her like Gmail still that she uses when she's applying for jobs is like Shadows Darkness or something.
That's awesome. That's so cool, actually.
and
fucking that takes confidence.
And she's like a senior director at a place.
That's awesome.
So nice. I've got nothing against those people.
All right. So final question.
Yeah, because I do have a time constraint, so I have to go.
Yeah, sorry.
Goodbye, Greg.
Final question. And then we'll sign off. Is PP Thursday being reinstated?
What is PP Thursday?
You don't remember PP Thursday?
I don't. I'm so sorry. I feel bad. I forgot PP Thursday.
I was looking for posts to jog my memory.
This feels like a terrible place to sign off. There's so much on this. There's so much we haven't. I never even talked about going to the jungle.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Well, you can always come back.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to now. There's so.
Yeah, Greg, if you want to sign off, you can. I do want
to
hear about
I'm
your
gonna
jungle
sign
experience
off
really quick.
Should we? Is it okay if we like keep going without you?
Yeah.
No. Go ahead without me. This happens.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Well, it has been what like final questions do you have for me before we continue without you?
Will you continue the blog forever?
I don't know about forever. I will say
You have
one of
to.
the points I will like just peeling back the curtain a little bit. One of the points of contention between the mod team of Seymour is everyone was like, what if we just like stopped and like kind of made it a big event and like went out in like a really cool big way? And I was like, I don't want Seymour to die ever. And I persisted where everybody else didn't. So
Okay.
I want to keep it going, including, we'll see, no promises, but I would like to do something for the 10-year anniversary, the 10-year birthday.
Hell yeah.
I do have a lot of school and like professional shit going on, so I don't know for sure, but I want to do something for that. So maybe in like a couple months there'll be a big Seymour thing. Maybe not. No promises.
Yeah, but I'll be on the lookout.
You heard it
I
here
wanna
first,
keep it
folks.
going.
It's happening.
The plan is
Seymour's
not to
dying in
kill Seymour in 2
2026.
months. I will say that. The plan is not to kill Seymour in 2
will be
months
crucified.
and like write a book or something.
We put him on the cross.
Hell yeah. Well,
All right.
I think that's all my questions. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Yeah.
for having me. I'm sorry that, like, I know we all have, so it's not like all my fault, but I am sorry for the record that I've been a little bit scatterbrained. I did for some reason to decide to drink absinthe mixed with Monster Energy, which was maybe the right vibe,
Buzzball
maybe
challenge.
the wrong one.
Not the wrong
Yeah,
vibe.
you were
that's
supposed
for
to.
sure.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
But yeah, and thanks for coming on, Virgil. Thanks for coming on the pod.
Everyone who wants to sign off can.
Bye, Greg.
I do want to hear
Yeah,
what your
I am
jungle-
sign
also
off.
signing off. I have work
Yeah.
in the morning.
Yeah, I do want to hear your
Kendrick,
jungle
Austin,
experience really
go
quick.
fuck
though.
yourselves. I love you. And with that, I bid you all adieu.
All right,
Bye-bye.
see ya.
All
Bye,
right.
Greg.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, so this jungle experience.
This jungle bullshit.
Yeah, what was it? What was it all about?
So I went to the jungle to do archaeology work because that seems to be like kind of a pattern with Sandsverse adjacent stuff. Like one
Yeah.
of the other mods also did archaeology for a while. It wasn't for them. It was for me, however. And then you're doing like monkey shit. and
Yeah,
you have,
I'm doing anthropology because primatology is a part of the anthropology program here.
which is really funny, but also does make some sense.
It's like a bit contentious because like most of the anthropologically relevant stuff is like early human stuff, but like we really only want to talk about the monkeys. But you know,
Yeah.
But yeah,
No, it seems like somehow anthropology is a really like concurrent thing.
Mhm.
So for me, because I think like 3 hours ago or whatever, you tried to ask how I got involved with that sort of thing. And for
Yeah.
me, it was like, as is clear in I think Sans Vendor stuff, is I was really interested in like creative writing and especially world building. And I was like, do you know what would make me really good and marketable about that? If I knew about like humans and cultures and shit.
Mhm.
So I tried going to school and doing like anthropology and cultural anthro, and then realized this is a lot of like talking to people and writing essays, and I think actually I would
a lot
like
of
the
school
more digging.
is.
Yeah, I was like, I kind of realized I think I would like the digging in the dirt shit more, so then I kind of dropped out for a year and a half and then went back and got involved with archaeology, and that's been like very quickly been like, oh yeah, this is cool as hell and I want to do this forever.
Yeah.
But my school has a thing where you go to the jungle and you dig in the dirt, and so I went to Belize and for a full month and like lived in a tent and got to go on a couple different archaeological digs to a couple different sites and dig up a bunch of shit. And it was actually, I think, one of the coolest experiences I've ever had so far. And I can't wait to do more of it.
Damn, that's real as hell. I didn't even have to. I didn't even have to sleep in a tent.
Oh yeah, no. I like sort of chose to sleep in the tent, but the
Oh.
other option was sleeping in a quote unquote dorm room, which was like the situation there was it was like in this building that had mesh walls, and it was like if you were on the top bunk of the dorms, you could just look to your left and see somebody in the other bedroom, quote unquote, in their bunk bed as well on the top bunk. So it was like, I was like, I don't want to do that. I just want to be alone in a tent if I can.
Yeah.
And also it was like, well, if you live in the dorms, you're going to have to buy a mosquito net that'll go over your bed. I was like, can I just like sleep in a tent and that'll be mosquito net enough? And turned out that was. So I got to, sleep in a tent for a full month with a little battery operated USB-C fan, and it was
the
so fucking
USB-C
cool.
fans are very God's greatest gift to field work.
They are God's greatest gift, quite genuinely. Like, there is nothing better than a USB-powered fan, because fuck lugging around, like, 30D batteries.
Yeah.
Which is the other option if you're camping and need a fan.
But yeah, I lucked out in that I went to what is apparently known as like Thailand's equivalent of Yellowstone. I don't know how well that translates, but that's how it was described to me in terms of cultural significance. The Hoi Ka Keng is the like sort of whole wildlife sanctuary area. I was specifically at the Khao Nung Rum research station, and they had they had some houses, but they weren't good houses, but they were like. And you had to like fight rats and ants a little bit. Like,
okay,
I didn't have to fight
we
them
didn't
off.
have rats and ants. We had like giant cockroaches. There was a minor ant infestation at one point, and then like in camp we saw a couple fertilans, which are like really scary poisonous snakes. But like those weren't in the bed, so it was fine. Also mosquitoes, of course, because of the fucking jungle.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it was actually probably pretty bougie compared to what you were staying in, because like it's pretty like I want to do an episode about this at some point, but like the reason why conservation is taken like so seriously in this oh, you're reading Infinite Chess. The reason why it's taken so seriously in this like particular park is because this like really famous conservationist straight up shot himself in protest, and it became like a really big deal in Thailand, and that's why it's very, relatively speaking, well funded. So
wow, yeah, I don't know like anything about the financials of the place I was, but I know it's like, as with most academic things, a little bit precarious at all times.
Oh yeah,
and,
absolutely.
Like, it's always like, is it gonna last another year? And then it'll last like another 30 or whatever.
Yeah. All right.
There was a funny story someone told at one point, like one of the upper management people was just like, yeah, whenever money was getting tight, we would like do a tour of the local meatpacking plant, and everybody but like for a full week not want to eat any of the meat, so we got to save money by just, you know, giving vegetarian meals because nobody wanted to eat chicken after they saw how chicken was manufactured.
Okay. I see.
I don't know if they've done that in like a decade though.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, Virgil, do you have any closing comments, questions?
Not at this time. Actually, no. I have with Seymour. I have engaged in the like GameStop stock shortage of 2021. Like,
Given
Seymour, like,
everything
on
about his
Reddit?
character, if I was a little bit more of a Redditor at the time, abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Of course.
Do you think that Seymour would still be on it? Like, would be like,
Seymour does not stay on anything for that long.
I do
That's
have
another way that you could have made some money if you really wanted to, and you had like no morals. Is you could have done Seymour NFTs.
that would have
Like,
been really
I considered
funny.
it at one point because I was like, it would be so funny to do
would
it the
not.
absolute cheapest fucking way. Like, it crossed my mind, and I was just a little bit like, had too much going on and was a little bit too lazy to
That was
actually
God
do it. But like,
stopping
the
you.
moment that happened, I was like, okay, I could do the funniest thing in the world. I kind of regret not doing it. It
No.
would not have gotten
Come
any
on.
money, but like,
It's like pouring out like I don't know,
Like a vintage
a
wine.
jug of gasoline
Yeah. Oh.
into the ocean
Yeah.
just for fun. My like one friend that is an artist, whenever she was upset with me, would like threaten me and would be like, "I'm gonna do an NFT. Like if you don't stop."
It's like worse than threatening like suicide.
Well, yeah, because I mean. Her committing suicide, like that affects her, and I guess and people that care. But the NFT affects everyone.
Yeah. I do have a post here that from sandsvendor100 that says, I just found out about and now fully and unequivocally support the Libertarian Party of America.
that one was not me. I wish that one was. That one is so funny. Seymour, what? Shut up.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I like.
Your keyboard match.
I'm
on the
not going to go
text-to-speech.
into the details, but I did download a text-to-speech thing to get the Seymour voice, which took like 2 hours to get working, and it just will kind of type, like, read things randomly, like URLs.
Like when you like highlight something, yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
like
I've heard.
I've tried to get
Ontario.
I've tried to
sounds
get
like
that
Greg.
under control, and it has not worked.
Those are
But no, that one was
transmissions.
not me. It was, however, so funny, and I think is very. Seymour is fully a libertarian and also some
Oh,
other
Yes,
things.
absolutely.
Is Seymour voting for RFK then in this election?
I think Seymour is still voting for Jill Stein.
I forgot she's.
Hell,
she's
I'm
still
voting
running.
for Jill Stein.
Seymour is
Are you?
still rocking with Ron.
Oh yeah,
Paul,
no matter who I
actually.
vote for, it doesn't matter. Texas is never going blue.
Yeah. Maybe. Not that I care about that dumb nerd electoral shit, you know.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't. Texas is too gerrymandered unless that changes,
Yeah.
which I don't
North
think it's changed.
Carolina's. I can't believe it's considered a swing state.
Yeah, it's. I love politics in a state where you have no choice.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
I had to.
I like living in a swing state and threatening liberals that I'm not going to vote.
Yeah,
Unless they do exactly what I want, and then they get so upset. They're like, "No, you have to. You
I
have
once
to."
posted on like Instagram, like, yeah, I'm not voting for Biden because he's been really bad in Palestine. And someone like replied, like, okay, seriously though, that isn't even funny at all. Like, you can't just
not funny.
not vote. You gotta turn Texas blue. And I'm like,
But
it's not
someone was
happening.
like, I mean,
It's not, I'm
had,
sorry, it's not.
Yeah.
I had someone reach out to me and they're like, so you'd be okay with all of the trans people in America being rounded up and put into camps? And I'm like, what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that'd be cool. Actually,
Well,
we could all hang
like-
out. We'd finally be able to meet each other.
It's like, okay, like if the like infrastructure and the like political will and ability to do that existed and could exist in a short time period, do we not think that the like Republican governors of existing states would not be doing that already? Like,
Yeah.
it's the fantasy scenarios that people are they're dangling over my head are interesting. I think that like we've all, I guess, been watching too much of The Handmaid's Tale. We've all been reading too many books.
Too many books.
They should be reading Lenin instead. Lenin's short, pamphlet size.
Yeah,
easy.
very pamphlet size. It's distributed factories.
They're like they're gonna turn the women into slaves. I'm like, are they? In the next 4 years?
I'm
like,
very curious about like how much of that includes. To be clear, I'm allowed for the audio only audience. I'm allowed to make weird jokes because I am a transgender woman.
Oh, you're
I wonder,
always
like,
allowed.
are transgender women also going to be turned into like sex slaves? Like, where do we stand in the hierarchy? Like,
So I've thought about this.
Oh my god.
Okay, let's
Thought
hear
about
it.
this. Okay.
Well, no, because I think like seriously speaking, I'm the like cartel on like abortion access and like reproductive rights, like that stems from the same desire to control women that like is also ruling all of the like limitations on people's access to like trans healthcare, etc. But I think also like a lot of those people seem to be very confused about like what a woman is. I like so many of my friends have gotten accused, or they'll be like, you'll never be a real man, when it's like, well, that's fantastic because they're trans women, but
I mean, that's how it is sometimes. You know what? Honestly, I don't.
So I think that
they
if
could ever pull off being a man. Let's be real.
if they're doing Handmaid's Tale style camps, I think that they're just going to be rounding people up based on outfit, like outfit and vibe. And
You know
so,
what? You know what?
I need to be sure to be wearing a skirt the moment I get kidnapped.
well,
by the
do you want to be in the camp?
Shit, maybe not. Maybe
Yeah, maybe not.
They keep moving the goalposts on like who gets to be a woman and what counts as one, which is fascinating because they're the ones that care the most about it. But I think that should the time come where they actually get to implement their strange ideas, they're gonna have a really hard time deciding who they want in their camps and who they don't want. And I think it's just gonna be like, is your hair a little bit past shoulder length? Like, in you go.
My hair is above shoulder length. I'm safe.
So yeah, you're
I'm
good for now.
functionally
Along with
legally a
like
man.
all of the American Apparel models, you know, and like every other woman that has a pixie cut, like they'll be good.
If you are butch enough, you do not end up in the woman camps.
think
now.
you know who they're gonna hire is the security guards at 100 Gex concerts who had to do the gender segregated body scans. They're gonna hire those guys to figure it out.
Did they have to do that?
Did you not hear about that?
I mean, I've gone to a couple gender concerts, 100 Gex concerts.
I don't remember where it was, but somewhere for some reason they were doing like gender segregated like security scans, and they were having like a really hard time.
Are the machines different if you have to?
No, I think it was because they were doing like a person was like doing the scanning and like perhaps a padding maybe.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm not sure. The point being that
I think that they should have thought that one through.
They were having a hard time with that one. But we've gotten a bit off topic.
Do you want me to like lightning round go through the questions on the document that?
Yeah, you know what?
I can because I've already looked at them, so I can go through them really quick.
Yeah, just lightning round them.
So lightning round. So there's the thing about the disc-shaped object. So that was my post, and that was also sort of about coins, but also frisbees. I think that pretty much sums it up completely. Like Seymour wants disc-shaped objects because that's what coins are, but also anything that's shaped like a disc is basically functionally a coin.
Okay.
So if you gave him a bunch of frisbees, he would give. He
would accept it as currency. I see.
He would accept it as currency as long as it's like round, roughly circular, and like roughly significantly thinner than it is wide, and like is basically fits into the blueprint of the proportions of a coin. That's money.
Okay, that is money.
Baby tapir gifts. I don't fucking know. Like one of the people involved with Seymour at one point did know. But, like, I never personally got to actually find out that information.
Yeah, the blog, Baby Tapir Gifts, unknown warrior.
It is so insane to me. I have no idea who made that.
Really good Photoshop skills, by the way.
It's so good photoshopping. It's so in character. I will just send those to people sometimes, especially people that I know don't have any idea what Seymour is, and I'll just be like, hey, look at this gif of a baby tapir, like, bottle feeding out of a Pepsi can. Which, by the way, really quick anecdote. Not anymore. I'm more of a Dr. Pepper fan now. But in my youth, as a child that was making Seymour posts, Seymour did, like, the whole joke of Pepsi Cola, good for your health, Seymour baby boy loves Pepsi, did actually get it to where I was drinking, like, a 2 liter of Pepsi every 4 days. Like,
That's
it was...
the warrior's
I developed
lifestyle.
a Pepsi addiction out of dedication to the tapir blog I was making.
Okay, I understand completely.
Yeah, Dicta, as I said, not my doing. The person that did it, so cool. The main blogs, like I said, coalesced from just random people making shit. And, like, originally I did not like Elmer. I was like, this person is aping on my shit. And I was like, wait, they're aping on my shit. It was like, they're really cool. And then we just kind of, like, eventually made a Discord server. And that did end up, like, a lot of it is history, and I can look at the chat logs more in depth at another date, perhaps. But the way that the, like, I don't know exactly how it happened, but the whole, like, 17 days early, like, weird sculpture fucking main, like,
yeah, the elephant seal looking thing. Yeah.
That was, like, that just kind of happened, and we, like, it was not pre-planned that much, I don't think. We were, like, actively in a Discord channel being like, wait, what if this happened next? Like, it was, like, developing as it happened. It was not developed that far in advance. It was a really fun time. Yeah, again, no idea who created Baby Tapir Gifts. It's one of my favorite blogs. I still wish I knew. I don't entirely know the deal with the Wizard of Oz things. I wasn't super involved in those posts. They were made. I didn't make much with that, but I think it was an attempt at doing something sort of like the other, like, big event things, and then it didn't quite take off in the same way. Why did Seymour sink the Titanic? Why not? He was hungry.
Okay.
I think he was just hungry. Fish Boy, Melman, that, it's been so long. He kind of just, there was like a falling out, and then the blog disappeared, and then it was like, well, we gotta give a reason for that. He was eaten and died terribly.
Okay. Eaten and died terribly. Noted.
Classic Meaves was just like a Seymour reply guy. Like,
Okay.
like I don't know. Maybe some of the other people involved had more of a relationship with him, but like I didn't really know him that well. He was
Okay.
like, I'm sure he's chill. He's fine. But like I don't know him personally. He just kind of replied to Seymour posts, and Seymour replied back, and it was a funny little time.
Yeah, classic memes is a deep cut for all you
A
Tumblr
deep cut. I
heads.
don't know if
Yeah.
anybody nowadays knows what that is, but that was like a big deal in the past.
Yeah.
Seymour typing styles did not have more of an impact than Homestuck. However, Seymour typing styles definitely created a very big impact on a very specific set of people that still
Yeah.
has its reverberations in like Twitter and Tumblr lore nowadays.
Yeah.
As for ARGs that inspired things, I personally didn't see many of those, but one of the blog people was like really into Marble Hornets and stuff at a time, so a lot of that did inspire things.
That's cool.
Also, some of the aspects of the way Seymour talked were from like YouTube comments by random like Serbian teenagers.
I knew. Yes.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's genuinely true. That
Very
didn't
true.
inspire my
Fact
talking
check
for
by
him,
American
but
Patriots.
it was no. Fact check by American Patriots. Seymour is at least in part based on like weird Slavic children having fun online. Like I think
Yeah.
that's literally where the 100 at the end of the name comes from.
Yeah.
Is like somebody with some username was like Serbian boy 300 or whatever.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And it did get to the point where there was this like musician from I forget exactly, but it was this turbo folk guy named MC Stoyan, and somewhere on one of my computers there is a video of Seymour, like a music video to a song called Kukulele, which is like literally about having sex with a milkmaid.
Okay.
I'll try and dig it up, but like it got copyright struck, which is really fucking funny, and I had to like download the video, track down the audio, and re-edit it together because it got fucking like the audio got removed from the video because the guy I guess got embarrassed by the song and tried to I don't know. It was like it disappeared from the internet
It's
for
a
a
very
while,
deep cut.
including the tapier video of it, which had like 7 views at the time.
Yeah.
There's another thing on this document that's like, what about the semi-ironic fetish posting with 58 kill and Bass Smasher? That was not me.
Okay.
I was not in that area. However, there is a blog I made that I don't think is ever going to come to fruition, but I like made my own secret sleeper agent knockoff sandsvendor blog that was a wombat that sold balls and then cubes and was like specifically destined to die and get mushed to death horrifically by the elephant seal named Roll, and like had like premonitions of his death. And I wish that like came to fruition.
That's a
because
good
that
bit.
was so incredible. Maybe someday I'll like get some just ground meat and slather it on the floor and take some photographs of it and like make something with that, but I'm not sure. Warrior Mail.
Yeah, like this is
what can be said there?
Yeah, like if I don't know if like maybe I was
think
just in a
it
really
has to
weird
be
part of
genuine.
Tumblr. Yeah,
There is no way Warrior Mail is not genuine.
it's gotta be. He's still
Do
at
you
it.
remember whenever he posted Overwatch porn and was like, "This is an advanced wrestling move"?
Yeah, I do remember that.
What?
He's still like
Seymour?
I still see him on all my like social media feeds because I
Oh my
don't know.
god, yeah. Seymour was not based on Warrior Mail. It existed long before we became aware of him, but it was definitely at times in conversation with that. Like,
Yeah.
for sure, it was not. There was some sort of relationship going on there that I forget all of the specifics of, but like, yeah, no, Warrior Mail absolutely just a
Goated
guy with
King.
something going on that is very genuine about what he has going on. Like
Yeah.
that is not a gimmick. There is no way that's a gimmick.
Virgil, I'm not sure if you're familiar with like the contingent of very strange old men on Tumblr who aren't just there for any kind of porn, but they're
I mean, they were in my inbox.
well, no, but like it's usually like the cigar daddy guys or like the muscle growth fetish guys who are into like really like articulately crafted like edits and gifs of like headless male bodies, like not normal fetishes at
Or
all,
like
but,
big
like,
butlers.
yeah,
Like 7-foot tall bulletproof butlers.
I mean, there's like one, like, I guess, like turn of phrase in the English language that I don't think I've seen since. The syntax was really fascinating to me at the time.
Okay.
I've memorized it. When I was a teenager on Tumblr, I had an adult baby man, like, who was like messaging me a lot.
They just have such a weird way of
his-
talking.
Yeah,
you
that
know?
was one of the
blog-
things that was difficult. Was like people occasionally be like, "Oh, you're a baby
Yeah.
animal."
Oh no, no! I hope
I was
Exactly.
like, no, not like that, not like
Yeah.
that.
And his blog was full of photos of maybe him, maybe someone else, like in a diaper, like doing various
You
baby
hate
tasks.
to see that.
And one was a photo of him in a bathtub, where, like, not really a bathtub, it was like a blow up, like, floaty pool.
Okay.
And it said, baby splashed so much around, there was millions of water everywhere.
I hate how much that feels like a Seymour post. That makes me
Right,
upset.
like it's the way
Yeah.
that they talk is like a specific like cognitive like hazard that's introduced
There's
by
like
posting
some
on
sort of
Tumblr.
very unfortunate convergent evolution
Yeah,
there that is
no.
terrifying when you can see it like seep through the like fabric
I'm
of
seeing
reality.
all the threads coalesce in my mind
Millions of
right
water
now.
everywhere. I think about it like kind of often whenever I'm like washing dishes and I'm getting water all over the place. I'm like, millions of water everywhere.
Oh,
is-
I hate it.
That is one of the like really difficult things about wanting to keep doing some weird Seymour stuff is like I'm not 13 anymore and I've gone to college and I'm about to graduate soon and it's
Yeah.
like I just can't get in that mindset anymore to the point where like I once got like in the past couple of months gotten asked this like Seymour's different now, he's not funny anymore, and I was
I
like
miss the old Seymour. Chop
no,
up the soul
quite literally.
Seymour.
It's like I've gotten messages that are like, I miss the old Seymour. Why did the owners of Seymour change? Why did it be passed off to these other people that just don't get it anymore? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not 13 anymore. I'm an
It's-
adult now.
It's like the people who are convinced that Drill got the account on Twitter got sold to like a different guy. He's like 40
No,
years old now. It's
There's genuinely rumors about that going around on Seymour to the point where I saw like a reply, like a question was like, did Seymour get passed off? And somebody was like, yes, he did. And I was like, why did you say that? That's not true.
yeah,
It's like
there's
I'm
like
the same. Like I'm the same person. It's always been me. There's been other people too, but it's like I don't know. That kind of got to me in a
it's
very
just
weird
the
way.
big
It's
me.
like it's me. It's still me. It's the same person. It's just I don't know how to talk like an idiot anymore because I'm not 14.
yeah.
It's like believe it or not, whenever you stop being 12, you can't talk like a 12-year-old anymore.
Yeah. No, it was a very powerful style of posting that, you know, it can't be perfectly replicated, but you know, it had its moment and it's just changed forms, you know.
Yeah,
I'm
there's
a
also,
big
like,
fan
just-
of the later Seymour.
Yeah,
I like
exactly.
his
There's
later
also, like,
works.
so many posts from the times where it was big that were just like such shit, such bullshit. And it's like people only remember the good ones, obviously, but it's like such fucking shit. Like there was times where it got like too bullshit cry typey where it's like that wasn't even funny anymore. That's like a really funny example. Like I have genuinely gotten several asks that are like, I miss the old Seymour. I've had like personal friends like, I miss the old Seymour. And it's like, I'm sorry, what do you want me to do? Just age regress?
Yeah, you gotta really get into that mindset.
I
of
gotta
millions
get into
of
that like
water everywhere.
ABDL fucking age regression bullshit,
Yeah,
and then
of
maybe I'll
course.
be able to make Seymour posts right again in
Yeah.
a way that will make other people happy.
Maybe the baby animal posts will finally feel like they used to when I was younger. Like, that's the other thing. It's like these people were also younger at the time.
Yeah, it's like, what do you mean the magic is gone? It's like there was never any magic. You were just stupid and young and childish.
Yeah, right. Literally. Okay. Well,
We gotta wrap this up.
Yeah, that was a
We
lot
do.
of fun. But if you want anything to plug,
Oh
have anything
yeah,
to
I
plug?
guess I'll plug my bullshit. First of all, follow
Of course.
sandsvendor100.tumblr.com, a wonderful website.
Yeah.
One of the best websites in the world. Do I even have like other social media? No, Seymour, please don't read me typing twitter.com. What is my I have a Twitter account that's called Hop Drinks that I don't use very often. I also have
Also a deep cut.
uh yeah, like I'm not even the one that made that post, but I've just co-opted it for myself.
Yeah.
My Tumblr account is Mindisc, so like mini disc without the
Oh
I.
yeah.
That's me. That's me. I don't post very much. I maybe should. And then also I have a podcast I do with some friends called what even is it called?
You don't remember the name?
I don't remember the exact wording. It's like a radio show that I do a lot of writing for that is mostly just loud noises about working in a post office. And also there's like weird time bullshit. It's just called Dead Letters.
Okay.
By Foot in the Door Theater on Spotify.com. And there will be eventually, when I finally get around to editing it, a episode about monkeys breaking containment and causing a lot of ruckus.
Oh hell yes.
I think that's all of the shit I have.
Okay.
Hop Drinks Twitter, Dead Letters podcast on Spotify, and Mindisc on Tumblr. And then I don't know, fucking follow me, I guess. I don't care.
Absolutely. And then
What
course,
what is social media anymore?
and of course Virgil of Big Soy Naturals. You're all hopefully familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've included I think a link to your podcast in like all of our episodes. I think I went back finally and put it in like
Wow.
all of the episode descriptions that have the new theme song in it. So if you haven't seen it by now, you better start reading our fucking descriptions. It's very important
Yeah.
things in there.
Learn to read, losers.
Exactly. So yeah. But yeah, thank you all for coming on, and we'll sign off.
Yeah, this has been really fun. If you ever want me back to talk about like actual Sans Vendor stuff, because we got
Yeah.
it's so easy to get sidetracked.
It is a lot of
and I'll
fun.
drink like a little bit less alcohol and a little bit less
Yeah.
energy drink, so I stay on task.
More
a little
buzz
bit
balls
better.
though.
I've
Okay.
never had a buzzball. I've never had a buzzball. I need to fix that.
I may be a white boy, but I'm not stupid.